Hi everybody. How is it going today on this Thursday evening? It is Thursday because it's Adventure Thursday. I had to think about that for a moment. It's just weird because it feels like a Friday because it's a bank holiday tomorrow. At least it is here, so it feels like a Friday. Not that there's really any decent grasp of time at the moment. Adventure Thursday. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. How are you doing, Remolay? Oh. My camera lagged a bit there. Weird. Let me just check something. Did I properly... I didn't turn off the auto exposure. There we go. That's better. So yeah, we're doing some more Lamplight City today. I think we're going to be starting on a new case because I finished up the second case last week. Is that a Texas flag on my shirt? It is. It is a Texas flag. My girlfriend's mum got it for me when I was over in Texas at one point. It is nice and comfortable, actually. So I like wearing it. It's a big shirt. It's bigger than the shirt I'd normally wear. It's like a large size shirt. So it's nice and it's just nice and comfy. It's a good shirt to lounge in. And also it reps my girlfriend's home state, so. Alright. Lamplight City. What happened last time? We solved the first case, unsuccessfully, I think. And solved the second case successfully, where there was a baby that was kidnapped by a woman who believed that her dead child was reincarnated into that baby. It was a very strange happening, but it made sense, and I did call the twist. I figured it out with my detective brain, and I was quite proud of that. So hopefully my detective brain will be working this week. I hope they're super supportive. They're good. They're all right. Yeah. All right. Let's boot up this game then. Lamplight City. It's been a bit longer than other adventure games I've been playing recently. I've been finding that a lot of adventure games I've been doing on Thursdays usually take about 2 sessions of streaming to finish. This one's been a bit longer so far, and I think there's 5 cases in the game overall. And we're just going to be starting the third one today, so I expect there might be another 1 or 2 streams after this. So, either way, I'm having fun though. The horse betting was a red herring, yeah. It was actually a red herring. I mean, it was tangentially related in some way, but it wasn't like the main crux of the of that plot line. Also, hey Omega, how you doing? All right, let's switch over to Adventure Thursday's scene. It was red herring. I actually talk about red herrings quite a bit in the Monkey Island video I'm working on, because obviously there's a puzzle which includes a red herring, and it pretty much informs the design philosophy of the whole game. That's kind of part of what I go into. I need to record an extra line actually, because I realized as I've been making it that the banana picker on Monkey Island is also a red herring, because you need to find a way to get more bananas, and funnily enough, the one item that is dedicated to getting more bananas is not part of the solution, so... Yeah, it's Monkey Island 1 is full of red herrings. Just absolutely chocked to the brim with them, it's great. So I need to record like an extra line or 2 just to slot that in. I've recorded quite a bit of like extra things as I've been going along with this. This has been like a really in-depth video, lots of detail, and it's still in production, it's still making progress, but running jokes of maps being things that are definitely not maps. Oh yeah, that's a good one too, like the dance instructions and the recipes. I think the recipes is something that really sticks though. Like there's a lot of recipes in the other games as well. Alright. Got drunk, that was the last one. We got drunk, didn't we? Oh yeah, because he had like a nightmare about the guy who killed Bill. Alright, I think we need to check the newspaper and check our new instructions. Harris baby found. Yep, that's what that's the one we just did. Gascon Grand Dame found burned to death. Interesting. I wonder if that's going to be the one we're exploring today. Desiree Lathan, age 63, was found burned to death in her home yesterday morning. Police were called to the scene by a neighbour who smelled smoke, only to find the grisly scene. Miss Lathan, I don't know. I went with Lathan. Miss Lathan in her bed. Body burnt to ashes, damn. The circumstances of Miss Lathan's death are unknown, but the police have not ruled out the possibility of foul play. Lathan was born in New Britannia, the daughter of a wealthy plantation owner. She grew to become one of the most loved and respected of the Gasconia? I don't know. Gasconia Grand Dames. Although she had many suitors over the years, Lathan never married. As an avid reader, writer, and poet, Miss Lathan had several articles published in local newspapers and magazines. Residents of Gasconia said they would miss seeing her brightly coloured hats and dresses as she walked by. Interesting. Is that... I wonder if that has to do... Because if you remember the Spirits Club we explored last week, there was a little bit about spontaneous combustion. I wonder if that's a spontaneous combustion case. Oh, I hope we get a spontaneous combustion case. That'd be really cool. So the third mysterious murder has police on edge. Okay. Oh yeah, that was mentioned, I think, as well. And Prime Minister's campaign heats up as election looms. Okay. I've never seen Clue, actually. Is it a good movie? Should I watch it? Fordham, a new case has come in, but the police are already investigating. Details have made their way into the newspaper. Ooh, is it the... Oh, yes, it is! It's the woman who burned to death. Maybe just... Oh, I really hope it's spontaneous combustion. I really want to investigate that. It would be lit, indeed. I won't be able to meet you at Ruin, so here are the details. Okay, so 840 right way.
What does Upton say this time?
That she can't meet me, and that I should go straight to the scene of the crime.
I wonder if that means the police have started to suspect that she's giving you these cases.
Maybe.
She also says news of this case has been made public, and the police are already
investigating.
Clue. Explains the article in the newspaper.
Which one?
The one about Desiree Lathan, the woman who was found...
Lathan, I was right.
Ugh, that sounds absolutely dreadful. Where's the crime scene?
840 right way. It's not too far from here, thankfully.
You're sure you're feeling up to this today?
I'll be fine.
Right way.
The mental exercise will get me back to normal in no time.
Okay.
Well, this is shaping up to be quite the investigation. I should probably get a move on before the police ruin the crime scene any more than they already have.
Good luck, Miles. And stay away from the bars, would you?
Yes, Addy. Alright, so basically all we've really got so far is to go investigate.
I shouldn't be gone too long.
Yep.
Don't work yourself too hard, dear.
Oh, Bill hasn't made himself... No, oh my god! Is the symbol for this poor lady's death scene really a smouldering pile of ashes? Really? That's so mean! That's so mean! Oh my god. Okay.
As though we've arrived fashionably late.
Excuse me, sir, but this is an active crime scene. We can't allow members of the public.
No worries.
Oh, this isn't just any member of the public, Kane. This is Miles Fordham. He used to be one of us until he killed his partner.
Hey, the Twitch chat did that. That wasn't on me.
Parsons is on the scene. It's a shock the apartment isn't in a shambles.
Good day to you too, officers.
Fordham? What are you
Oh,
doing?
hey.
Ah, Captain Snelling. What a pleasure.
Ah, that's Captain
Chief Snelling
Oh,
now,
Chief
Fordham.
Snelling.
I don't expect you follow the workings of the department much these days, but I'd appreciate the proper address.
Okay.
So nice to see the power hasn't gone to his head.
My apologies, Chief Snelling.
You haven't answered my question. What in blazes are you doing here?
Investigating the blazes here. Ooh, I'm gonna be sassy.
You want this crime solved, don't you? I'm conducting my own query. I could be an asset to your investigation.
Out of the question. This is an active crime scene, Fordham. Leave the premises immediately.
We could solve this case in no time if we work together, you know.
We don't need any help. Not even from former
Hey,
detectives.
I am a current
Parsons,
detective.
I'm going back to the station. I want your report the minute you're done here.
And that has nothing to do with electricity
Yes,
or
sir.
raisins.
Now, don't get any funny ideas, Fordham. If you so much as breathe on anything in here, I'll have you arrested for tampering with a crime scene. Do I make myself clear?
Crystal. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I don't, what's the word? I don't conform to your ways anymore. I don't report to you.
Sure, whatever you say, Chief.
Keep your nose where it belongs, or you'll have me to answer to.
Yeah, and your terrible mustache.
I suppose it's reassuring that even in this crazy, ever-changing world, you can always count on Snelling to be a complete ass.
Chief. No
Whoa!
The sooner we get out of here, the better for all of us.
Thank you for the raid, Cat. Nice to see you. Oh, there we go. Let me just... Okay. What were you guys playing? Was it... I remember seeing the name of the game. I can't think of it right now. What was the game you were playing? Was it a 40k one? Battlefleet Gothic. Yes. That's the one.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
Alright.
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I'm afraid not. You don't have clearance in this investigation.
And there's nothing I can say to convince you otherwise?
I sleep in my
My
cheeky 20.
superiors would be very upset if they knew I was breaking the rules. I'm sorry.
I think the operative phrase in this instance is if they knew. We need to find a way to get Parsons out of here. Maybe we should visit Upton at the station.
Okay. Well, tell me about yourself.
How long have you been on the force, officer?
2 months, sir.
And how's it treating you so far?
This is where I was meant to be.
That's
good to
nice.
hear.
Parsons mentioned you used to be a detective?
I'm still a detective.
I was, yes, for 15 years. It wasn't always easy. I loved every minute of it.
Parsons goes on about how he's got his eye on becoming a detective, but I don't know if I'd be able to handle it.
Is that right?
Yes, he's up for review. I think he's trying to impress Snelling to improve his chances.
Parsons wants to be a detective? Now I've heard it all. As if he needed more of a reason to be Snelling's lapdog.
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
I don't like to talk about my colleagues, sir.
So that's a no.
Especially when they're standing right over there.
That's a definite
I
no.
understand. Perhaps this isn't
Say
the right
no
time to be
more.
asking. What was Chief Snelling doing here?
Nothing more than a routine inspection of the crime scene.
Snelling out some
Routine
clues.
inspection? But the chief of police only goes to extremely high-profile crime scenes.
I couldn't possibly comment on that, sir.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
This guy seems nice. I like this guy. Officer Kane.
Judging by these books, Miss Lathan was quite the fan of poetry.
Interesting.
You have to hand it to her. Miss Lathan certainly had a unique taste in fashion. I bet you could see her coming a mile away.
Yeah, they mentioned that in the newspaper.
No title. I doubt it's a diary. People rarely leave those things laying out in the open.
You'd be surprised.
Definitely too young to be Miss Lathan. Perhaps a relative?
Or an old picture. Alright, Parsons, what's up?
Excuse me, Officer Parsons.
Clear off, Fordham. The chief doesn't want you here, and neither do I. You aren't on the force anymore, so you've got to respect the rules, just like every other citizen.
Okay.
You'd be respecting my fist if I were alive.
Damn,
Believe
Bill.
me.
I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I just want to ask a few questions.
Well, if it will get you to leave faster.
Wow. He has fairly luscious lips, actually. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to look a little bit rougher around the edges. He's got quite a baby face. But without discounting the mutton chops, of course, yeah. Like, he's got mutton chops but a baby face. Very odd combination.
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Nothing.
Because you don't know?
Okay.
No, because I'm not going to betray Chief Snelling's orders and divulge that information to the public.
Come on, Parsons, you know me. What harm would it do to tell me just a little bit?
Do I have to state the obvious?
Yes.
If it were up to me, you'd be in jail for murdering an officer.
I wouldn't make such claims without knowing the facts, Parsons. It could get you in serious trouble. It'd be a real tragedy to see your career cut short and you back in the workhouse polishing airship rivets.
Ooh.
You don't scare me, Fordham.
Rest assured, the feeling is mutual.
Can you tell me anything about the crime
Have you
scene?
made much progress on this investigation?
Did you not hear me the first time, Fordham?
No.
Drop it before I have to arrest you for interfering with a police investigation.
You're looking well these days, Parsons. What's your secret?
Secret?
Tell me about your skincare routine.
Maybe something about getting a good night's sleep without blood on my hands does wonders.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
How long has Officer Kane been on the force?
I'm not one to gossip, Fordham.
That's only the second most hypocritical thing I've heard today.
Ask him yourself if you're so interested.
Why was Chief Snelling here anyway?
He's the chief of police, and this is an official investigation. It doesn't take a grand leap of logic.
Yes, but the Chief of Police never bothers with a crime scene unless it's of great importance.
Your point?
Does that mean this crime scene is, in fact, of great importance?
You're the investigator, Fordham. I'll leave you to work that one out.
Yeah, technically, we did kill Bill. It was an accident, to be fair. Basically, there was a situation where Bill was taken hostage by a guy, and then Bill was like, you need to take the shot, you need to take the shot. And we took the shot, and unfortunately, it didn't hit the assailant, it hit Bill, and Bill died. Bill did say take the shot, so the chat encouraged me to choose to take the shot, so thought we were making the right choice, but unfortunately, we got Bill killed. And this guy's holding it against us. Yeah, he probably would have died either way, I imagine. If we hadn't, like, taken the shot, he probably would have been, like, stabbed instead, so.
I hear you're looking to become a detective, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Shouldn't be a difficult bar to clear, given the caliber of some former detectives.
The process isn't easy, you know. You have to prove you're the best of the best.
Don't think I'm not aware of that, Fordham.
I'm just saying, standing around here isn't going to do you any favors.
I know that. First chance I get to shake this grunt detail for a shot at some real investigation, I'm all over it.
Good for you.
Parsons' eagerness might be something we can use to our advantage.
That's all I wanted to know.
Good.
Alright. I don't think we can do anything else here right now, unless, what's this letter?
An invitation to the Gascon Grand Dame's ball. It seems it was held 2
Grand
nights
Dames,
ago
okay.
at the Gascon Supper Club. Might be worth looking into, seeing as it's our only lead right now.
Aha! We've got a couple of places to explore then. Brilliant. So, go down to the station, or... I'm going to go down to the station first and talk to Constance.
I didn't imagine we'd be coming back here in this lifetime.
Fordham, have you solved the case already?
No.
Don't I wish? I haven't even gotten started.
Well, I'm here if you need anything. Just be sure not to let Snelling see you.
Bit late for
Is he
that.
back yet?
He arrived a few minutes ago. I expect he'll be sequestered in his office today, so you shouldn't have to worry too much.
Good to know.
Okay.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Okay. Let's just cycle through these all these options then. Might as well.
Back to work, I see.
Yes, well, the coffee shop holiday had to end eventually. I'm gonna have to find someplace else to meet you. The higher-ups are getting suspicious.
What do you mean
To
they
be honest,
don't have
seems a bit
accents?
wretched there. I won't miss it.
Well then, Mr. Big Bug, you can have the honor of choosing the next place. Under a bridge somewhere, perhaps.
They all have accents to me. I mean, they're just kind of like generic American accents, but they're still accents.
Have you been able to find any leads on Bill's death?
Have you?
Not yet, no.
I don't want to get your hopes up, but I may have something.
Oh?
The man you're looking for, he was burgling a flower shop, right?
Yes.
I couldn't help but notice that in the last 2 cases you've had, plants have been used to drug
It's on
people.
Australian flag.
It might
I
just be a
don't
coincidence,
know
but
if it's
I also
Australian.
think it's something worth looking out for. If it becomes a pattern, there's a good chance it might be related.
Could be an
But
embassy.
2 different people did the drugging.
True, but in both cases, they learned from someone else.
It's a stretch, but it's better than nothing. I'll take it into consideration.
This game takes place in an alternate history version of America. This is basically alternate history New Orleans. It's not quite New Orleans. It's just kind of like an old, just alternate history version of it, basically. That's as far as I can tell you. It's called New Britannia, I think. And the general area, like the country, I think it's called Vespuccia.
I'm having some trouble with Officer Parsons.
You and everyone else who's ever met him. What's the problem?
He's keeping me away from the Lathan crime scene.
Of course. He's one of the most loyal to Snelling.
Any suggestions for how I might get him away so I can look around?
I might have an idea.
Ooh.
There are several reported crimes that haven't been assigned yet, and Parsons is itching to prove his investigative chops. He'd probably abandon his post for a good enough lead and a chance to impress Snelling.
Up to no good. You impress me.
Department politics are something of a specialty of mine.
Upton, oh good. I know that's not her actual name because she's called Constance Upton, but that's a terrible pun. Fordham, you should be ashamed.
About getting Parsons away from the crime scene?
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned crimes. The body of a young man was found in the Hodgman River by the Gascon docks this morning. A woman in Chumley reported hearing a single gunshot in her neighbor's apartment last night. There was a deadly explosion at a factory in Worcester that may be linked to sabotage. And that's it for right now. Any of those strike your fancy?
Okay. Tell me more about the body.
Tell me more about the body found at the docks.
An unidentified man in his 20s was found in the river near the docks. The dock worker who reported it said that the body was bloated and decomposing. It must have been in the river several days.
Right.
Dr. Edwards performed a post-mortem and determined the cause of death to be a blow to the head.
I see.
Blow to the head.
Certainly leaves a
Interesting.
lot of questions.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
Let's try another one.
No, actually, let's try another one.
Let's just see what
All
all the
right,
details
which
are
one?
for these ones, and we'll decide which one we think will be most interesting. A Parsons.
Let's hear about the gunshot.
Ethel Williamson reported
Hey, Summer
hearing a sound
B76,
she
how you doing?
described as a single gunshot coming from her neighbor's apartment last night.
Right.
She said she had been hearing arguments over the past several weeks, and there may have been domestic violence involved.
I see.
When she knocked on the door, she got no answer, but she said she noticed the distinct smell of flowers.
Intriguing.
You think Parsons will be interested?
No, I don't think that one will be interesting. Will be interesting to him actually.
No, actually, let's try another one.
All right, which one?
Tell me about the factory
Give me the
explosion.
details
that
about
one
the
sounds
factory
quite
explosion.
juicy actually.
The owner of the Hopkins Steelworks reported an explosion at his factory that killed 2 of his workers. He says he's been getting several threatening letters about his current project.
Ooh.
And so he suspects someone has sabotaged the operation?
Yes, likely the Redites. Do you think Parsons will be interested?
I don't know his opinion on those. I wonder if I can talk to him a little bit more and see if I can sort of.
No, on second
Like-
thought, let's leave this for right now.
All right, let me know if you change your mind.
I want to see if I can like.
That's it for now.
Better
So
get back to
gauge
it,
his
then.
opinions on different things so we can decide which one might be the best to send him on. Which one would hold his attention. What's up, buddy? I'm back.
Let's not talk to this idiot
Aw.
any further right now.
Can I not? Okay. Maybe.
Nothing new to...
Oh. Well. That... I guess they've got nothing else to say right now. Okay. Head back to the police station, actually. I think everything's like quick with this.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
So...
Any updates on the Harris baby?
Yeah, tell me about this.
He's back home and doing well thanks to you.
I'm glad to hear it.
You
Wonderful.
did an impressive job. I admit I was a bit concerned about how you'd fare after months of taking it easy. But I suppose detective work is like riding a bicycle.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Guaranteed way to end up with a broken arm?
Maybe. Maybe.
I see the Gazette has caught wind of this supposed mass murderer.
Yes, Snelling has been positively fuming about it. Between that and the Lathan case being publicized on the same day, it's been a nightmare for the department.
Yeah, it does sound like
Any
a bit
idea
of...
how they got the information?
I don't think anyone in the department has spoken to the press. Maybe they just have some very good reporters.
So, is it serious? Should we be concerned?
3 murders is nothing to sneeze at, but all the victims have been men in Chumley. If
Right.
that changes, then things might start getting urgent.
Isn't that just the way of things? You can bet they'd have already caught the bastard if the first body had turned up in Leon.
Class dynamics. All right.
About getting Parsons away from the crime scene?
I'm gonna take a sort of.
All right, these are the as of the. Oh,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it- any-
I think the body at the docks is probably the most interesting one. And there's like a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of mystery to that. I don't really know anything about Parsons' opinions on Redites, so I think that's probably a safe bet. I reckon they'd be interested in that. Like, the sort of someone like knocked this guy out and dunked him in the river.
Tell me
So
more about the body found at the dock.
And the dock worker who reported it said Dr. Edwards performed a postmortem and determined the cause of death to be a blow to the
yeah,
head.
it's interesting.
I see. Certainly leaves a lot of questions.
Do you think Parsons?
I think that's the one.
Sounds good. Let's go with that one.
All right, I'll send out the report as soon as we're done talking.
I get that reference, Wakanai. That's one of the proudest lines I've ever
That's
written.
it for now.
Better get back to it then.
Prime Minister Atwood, watching over the department with his signature scowl.
All right. That would, eh?
Pretty sure that connects Upton to everyone on the police network, including Giles at the jail. Lucky her.
Gascon Supper Club. Oh, actually, let's see if he's.
Damn, looks like Parsons didn't take the bait.
Hmm.
He must not have considered that case enough to prove himself to Snelling.
Okay. Yeah, so he didn't quite go for that one. Maybe. You know, I'll go here first. Let's explore this area, and maybe we can find something else out that might
Bridge
aid
to
us in some way.
Lyon overlooking the House of Parliament. I suppose that seeing that helps the patrons of this club put on airs.
Sure.
That painting depicts a hand dropping a bunch of blood-soaked silver coins into another hand. Definitely sets the bar for the type of people who come here, I'd say.
Woman.
Excuse me, miss?
Oh, well, hello there, handsome.
I'm married.
I've never seen you around here before. Care to join me for a drink?
I promised my wife I would not be drinking.
Thank you, but I'm on duty.
On duty? What are you, a cop?
Force of habit. I'm a private investigator, actually.
Thank you, Fair. You
Not
take care
much
as well.
Better, if you ask me.
The name's Miles Fordham, and you are?
Charlotte Robineau.
Pleasure.
That's a very fancy
Mind
name.
if I asked you a few questions?
I suppose not. It would help pass the time.
She sounded a little bit younger than she actually looks. I guess they didn't get an older lady to do the voice. It's fine. I just expected her to be a bit younger. There was actually an option to mention that you were married, Remele, as the third one.
Were you here for the Grand Dame's ball the other night?
Of course, we all were. Well, except for Laura. Terrible business.
You mean Laura Dupre?
The very same.
It might have been
Have you
hidden
met?
under some chat text,
have.
Remele.
In
no
fact, I
worries.
investigated her attempted murder.
Is that right? I heard it was her daughter who did it.
That's what the evidence pointed to, yes.
It's always so ghastly when family relations.
I still
turn
don't know
sour.
if that was actually what happened in the end.
Do you know Desiree Lathan?
I knew her, yes.
When did you last speak to her?
Oh, it's been ages. She and I haven't had much to do with each other for a while.
Why is that?
It's really not important. We just didn't see eye to eye on a few things.
Was she at the Grand Dame's ball?
Yes, she was. Drinking up a storm. as usual. Desi really knew how to enjoy herself.
So she
How much
drank a
did she
lot.
drink?
Oh, I don't know. She used to outmatch me, and I can handle quite a bit.
if it was spontaneous combustion, we haven't seen the body yet, so it's hard to say. But if it was spontaneous combustion, then quite often what people find when a case is thought to be that of a spontaneous combustion case is that they have in some way intoxicated themselves with either alcohol or drugs, and maybe like had a cigarette which has fallen on them as they've passed out. That's usually the sort of fact that comes into play when spontaneous combustion is a thing. I mentioned this last time. I'm just guessing that that's what's happened. I don't actually know. I may be completely off base.
What can you tell me about Desiree's death?
Just what I've read in the papers. She burned to death. It's horrible. She certainly didn't deserve to die in such a
Does
gruesome
sound pretty
way.
horrible.
Did she have any enemies? Anyone who might have wanted to do her harm?
No. Everyone loved her.
Except you?
Mr. Fordham, I said we haven't had much to do with each other. That doesn't mean I didn't care for her. Now please, let's drop the subject.
Okay. A little bit avoidy, but that's okay.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Why, Mr. Fordham, I hardly know you.
Excuse me.
That said, I'm always open to making new friends.
Ooh, watch out, Miles. I think she's getting ready to
I don't
bounce.
want that. Compliment her? I don't want to do that. No. Do I want to do that? Who votes I should compliment her? And who votes we shouldn't? No. I was leaning towards no as well. Goodbye.
Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to your drink.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Oh, God. You need to learn your boundaries, lady. Okay, we should have told her we were married. I don't even know if that would have helped.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Parsons didn't take the bait.
Nothing worse than a picky investigator. I wish more people were like you.
Thank you?
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned crimes. A woman in Chumley reported hearing a single gunshot in her neighbor's apartment last night. There was a deadly explosion at a factory in Worcester that may be linked to sabotage. And that's it for right
I might
now.
go for the
Anything else
explosion.
strike your fancy?
He seems like quite an angry guy. Maybe he has strong opinions on workers who like, you know, angry about things. Workers who are worried about their rights. I reckon he might have some strong opinions about that. So,
Give me the details about the factory explosion.
The owner of the Hawkins Steelworks reported he says he...
yeah.
And so...
Yes, do you think
So, Redites. Let's go with this one.
Sounds good. Let's go with that one.
All right, I'll send out the report as soon as we're done talking.
Okay.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
Better get back to it. Yep, that sure is right. Let's go. Alright. Click on the steaming pile of ashes, and...
Damn, looks
now.
like Parsons didn't take the bait. He must not have considered that case enough to prove himself to Snelling.
Damn, okay.
That's not...
This guy is not interested. Didn't take that one either.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Unfortunately, Parsons...
Nothing.
All
right, I won't. Any of those.
I guess we'll just have to do
Let's
this
hear
one.
about the gunshot.
Ethel
Hey, Coffee and
Williamson
Friends, how you
reported
doing?
hearing a sound she described as a single gunshot coming from her neighbor's apartment last night.
Uh-huh.
She said she had been hearing arguments over the past several weeks, and there may have... When she knocked on the door, she got...
Intriguing.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
Oh! Maybe he'll be interested in this because he's interested in taking Fordham into justice. And Bill's death occurred at a flower shop. So maybe he thinks that possibly Fordham is responsible for this as well. So, yeah, let's go with that.
Sounds good. Let's go with that one.
All right, I'll send out the report as soon as we're done talking.
I should have connected those details because the one thing that we know about him is he wants to be able to take Miles into justice. And we might found a small link with the flower smell. That might just be the thing that clinches it.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
Take me down to the Lamplight City, who can hardly see the grass. And then go the saying home. Pity. Very good. That's the one.
Looks like Parsons took the bait. Now maybe we can finally have a look around the crime scene.
Did we find out who took Bill hostage in episode 1? No, we didn't. That is a mystery that underpins the whole game. Like, and Miles is having nightmares about it as well. It's a bit obtuse and a huge leap. I mean, I would say that it isn't because like I said, the one thing we knew is to do with like taking down Miles. That was like the one aspect I should have listened to, and it's just the one link. It makes sense in my head. I don't know. I didn't connect it right away, but it does make sense.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
Where did Officer Parsons go?
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
If I'm being honest, he can be a bit much sometimes.
Oh yeah, I can tell.
Trust me, you're not the only one who feels that way. I didn't have much interaction with him when I was a detective, but the few times I did weren't very pleasant.
I could tell he doesn't seem to care much for you. Although I don't think he cares much for anyone except the chief, and that's only because he's the one who gives out the promotions.
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Parsons needs a hobby.
I
He does.
couldn't really say.
Come now, I'm trying to help this investigation. Any small detail would be useful.
Well, I haven't really looked over the crime scene too much. It's rather gruesome, you see.
Is the body still here?
Yes, what's left of it at any rate. Miss Lathan was only identified by the tattoo on her foot.
I see. Has there been much progress here?
Snelling and Parsons examined the scene, that's all I know.
Do you think I might have a look, now that the initial investigation's been conducted?
I'm afraid that's out of the question,
The mutton
sir.
chops and
I
sweet
have
was the only
my
good thing about
orders.
Parsons. True. There may be something that was overlooked.
Officer Kane, I'm trying to aid this investigation. There may have been something overlooked by the others.
Come on.
If Parsons were to catch you, my career would be over.
Trust me, he won't be back for some time. I swear on my honor as a former member of the New Britannia Police.
All right, I suppose you
Yes.
can go in for a moment, but please be quick about it.
Thank you, Officer
Don't you
Kane.
worry.
I promise, this will stay between us.
I just love rookie officers. They're so gullible.
Oh,
I once got one to shine my shoes for a week after convincing him it was department policy. Good times.
my God, Bill.
What was Chief Snelling doing here?
He was inspecting the crime scene.
I got that
Yes,
part.
but why was he involved? Is there something special about it that would require the Chief of Police to look into it?
Well, someone thought it might be related to the big case we're not supposed to talk about.
You mean the mass murderer?
Yes, sir. I could see why the chief is upset that the news has gotten out.
And is it related?
No, I don't believe so. But the news reports are beginning the public on edge.
Of course. The less information there is, the easier it is for rumors to start spreading.
Exactly. Chief Snelling has a lot of fires to put out.
Yeah, I hope we don't get Ken
If that's
fired.
the
He
case,
seems like a
it's
nice
too bad
guy.
He didn't get to Ms. Lathan in time.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
Hold on, I'm just gonna plug the stream because it seems a little bit quiet actually. Any additional things you guys can support you guys can offer would be good as well. Just wanna just a bit lower than we usually are, and I just thought, you know what, I could do with bumping this again. This is. Alright. There we go. Music is low, but the VA is high. It's pretty better the way. Hey O'Neill, how you doing? Oh wow.
That's certainly a pungent aroma. I can see why
That's-
the officer's stuck to the living room.
Surprisingly modest quarters.
This
for a
definitely looks like
ground
spontaneous combustion.
down. You'd never guess she could buy out the likes of you and me 1,000 times over.
Okay, well I guess let's just have a look straight at this. Oh god.
Ashes to ashes and all that. I'm glad I was buried. Cremation always seemed a bit too...
That is rough.
Now's not the time for jokes, Bill.
Are you serious? Death is the best time for jokes. Otherwise, it's all just a bunch of boo-hoo-hoo this and wah-wah-wah that. And trust me, there's plenty of that in life. Hell, you'd know better than anyone.
All right. Just shut it for a bit while I look over the crime scene, would you? I need to concentrate.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm definitely getting spontaneous combustion vibes.
Alas, poor Desiree, a woman of infinite riches, of tastes most fancy. Well, where's all your money now? Come to think of it, that question might be worth answering.
Ashes.
Ugh, greasy, fetid, stinking ashes. Who knew the human body was capable of producing such a disgusting byproduct?
Yeah.
I'm surprised the coroner hasn't taken the body away yet.
Probably because there isn't much of a body left.
Hey, you're back.
Either that or Dr. Edwards knows better than to deal with something like this.
That's extremely unlike him. He'd jump at the chance to examine this body. Perhaps we should allow him the pleasure.
I hope you're not suggesting what I think you're suggesting. I don't think Desiree will be able to give us a hand with this investigation.
Bill.
Bill?
What? I thought it was funny.
I had this exact same reaction.
This one's clean. Well, aside from the fact that the rest of the leg is burned off.
That's true.
There's a tattoo on her ankle. It says, "Dancing through life." Hate to break it to her, but that dance is over.
Sure is. Oof. Okay. Anything else we can examine here? All right.
That's a nice portrait of Miss Lathan. Too bad it was damaged by the fire. The area where the artist's signature should be has been singed and is unreadable. Too bad.
It's a shame.
But the date is still legible. It's from this year.
Oh, interesting.
Some crumpled up letters. They look to be of the romantic variety.
They're from the same person. One Peter Andrews.
It's always sad to see a case of unrequited love. I'm thinking we should find out who this Peter Andrews is.
Indeed.
Good idea. Now, are you finally willing to admit that looking through rubbish does yield results sometimes?
Fine, you win. But I don't think I envy your prize.
Okay. Dearest Desiree, I offer you my heart, though I am sadly unable to offer you my hand. Oh, that circumstances were different. Why must life and love be so cruel? Both be so cruel. I must continue to love and admire you from afar. I can only hope these feelings are mutual. And then the second letter, my dearest Desiree. Once again, I must declare my love for you, though you have not yet responded to any of my letters. I maintain hope that you care for me as I do for you. I remain ever faithful. Call upon me and I will wish to your side. We will embrace as Mr. and Mrs. Andrews at long last. Is he a stalker? Maybe. I think we need to figure that out. There's an ash pile down here.
Odd. Another pile of ashes under the bed. Looks as though whatever she kept underneath got burned too.
Interesting.
Or it could be that whatever was under the bed is what caught fire in the first place. Although, there's no evidence of what started it. All that's left is a small piece of cloth. Might as well take it.
The cloth appears to have some oily residue on it. Interesting.
Interesting. Huh. Oily residue. Oh, that's curious. Yeah, I was thinking the oil must have got ignited somehow. Dear Miss Lathan?
This just keeps getting more and more interesting.
Excuse
The
me?
law firm of Usher and Price isn't too far from here. I think it's
I haven't
definitely
read the
worth
letter
paying
yet,
them a
Bill.
visit.
Okay. This letter is to inform you that we have received your request to make changes to your beneficiary as indicated in your last will and testament. Interesting. Please come to the law offices of Usher and Price at 72 Cadman Street, Worcester, so that we may review the documents and make the necessary edits. Yours, Jonas Usher. Okay. Interesting.
Looks like this one barely managed to survive. Pity. It looked like a nice work of art.
I wonder if she had anything on a typewriter. Maybe worth checking that.
It looks as though Miss Lathan was in the middle of writing something.
It's an article for Brentwell magazine.
Ah. Igniting the fires.
Igniting the fires within.
I was going to
Bit on the
say.
nose, wouldn't you say? Classic Brentwell. They have a reputation for making their writers go to extremes for their articles, all for the sake of
Ironic.
entertainment.
Perhaps we should pay their offices a visit, see exactly what it was Miss Lathan was doing for them.
We are all familiar with the idea of an inner fire, a term usually applied to our sense of passion or determination. But what if that inner fire was of a more physical nature? That is to say, if each of us had the capabilities to light a real fire within our bodies. How'd that go, Mrs. Lathan? Did it go well for you? It's a very ironic thing to have by a burnt corpse, honestly. Unless someone else wrote it in order to be a jerk. That's also possible. Or maybe she lit herself on fire. I don't know.
Doesn't look as though this fireplace has been used in a long time. I suppose we can rule it out as the source.
Have a good fireplace right there. That's true.
As much as I like this painting, this isn't the time for art appreciation.
How dare you? It's always time for art appreciation. Alright, well, we've got some new places to go now, at least. Desiree, for the vine!
Was there someone else in the room just now? I thought I heard you talking.
Oh, no worries.
Oh, no.
I'm
It's
just talking to the voice in my
sometimes I
head.
think aloud when investigating crime scenes.
I see.
Good save. We don't need any more police officers thinking you're insane.
Yep, just the voices in my head. Not to worry. I'm sane. Okay, so we've got the Brentwell magazine and the law firm of Usher and Price. I'm going to go with the law firm first. I think there might be something... Because it's to do with the last will and testament. That sounds like it'd be quite an interesting thing to...
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the law offices of Usher and Price. May I help you?
I love the thing where they have to walk over in
good
order to say
afternoon.
anything.
My name is Miles Fordham. I'm a
cute.
private investigator, and I'm looking for Jonas Usher.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but Mr. Usher is not seeing anyone today.
Why is
If
that?
it's a matter of urgent legal importance, you could see Mr. Price.
It would be unwise to barge into Mr. Usher's office having been told he isn't seeing anyone.
I see.
We need to find a way to make him change his mind. The plaque says it's a portrait of Thomas Usher. Looks like a real go-getter.
He's got a nice hat.
Begging your pardon, sir.
Let's see if we can get any information off this guy.
Sir, it is of the utmost importance that I speak with Mr. Usher.
And as I said, he isn't taking visitors today.
Okay,
But it's in regards to his client, Desiree Lathan.
Yeah.
Or should I say, former client.
Ooh.
Miss Lathan found another attorney?
No, I'm sorry to be
Actually, you
the one
won't
to
be
have to
finding any
inform
other
you that
attorneys, I'll
she's
tell you
dead.
that.
Dead? I had no idea.
Oh, you take the
No?
paper?
It was in today's newspaper.
Exactly.
I haven't read it yet. Mr. Usher forbids it in the office.
But surely
Wow.
he's read it. Just because he forbids you reading the paper in the office.
No, I mean he forbids the presence of newspapers in the office. He fears they bring in outside germs.
Oh,
I see.
that's eccentric.
In any case, if what you say is true, I'll need some sort of proof.
I suppose just bringing in a copy of the newspaper is out of the question, then.
You had to make
Eh,
it
we'll have to
difficult
find
for
another
me.
way.
I have a document.
Perhaps Mr. Usher will see me when
Apparently.
he sees this.
Oh, what's that?
A letter from Mr. Usher to his client, Desiree
Aha.
Lathan.
What? That's private correspondence. How did you get that?
It was evidence I found at a crime scene.
And how is it relevant?
The crime scene in question was Miss Lathan's own bedroom, where she was found burned to death.
That's quite a claim, Mr. Fordham. I can assure you that Mr. Usher deals primarily with facts. Right now, the
Okay.
only fact this letter proves to me is that you somehow rummaged through Miss Lathan's possessions and acquired it.
He does have a point.
Okay.
We'll need something a bit more persuasive.
Alright.
I actually don't have anything to show.
Right. Please stop wasting my time then. I'm very busy.
I don't like you.
I appreciate your time.
I don't.
Enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
I don't think there's anyone else. I can't talk to Price, so I guess we just need to find a document for this place. Oh, no,
Seems like they've got
too.
some kind of
How
modern
Grim
message
Fandango.
delivery service in here. Of all the things to spend your money on.
I'm getting serious Grim Fandango vibes from that. Okay, I guess we're gonna go to Brentwell magazine then. Hey, Disco Inferno.
Hello there. Are you here to drop off an article?
No, actually, I'm a private investigator. My
I'm
name's
still
Miles
get
Fordham.
down it.
How exciting. You must have so many interesting stories.
Okay.
You could say that, yes.
Please, come in, come in. I'm Alan Brentwell, owner and publisher of Brentwell Magazine.
You seem nice.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
It's a very big bookshelf you got there. Huge, in fact. Look at the size of that thing. That stepladder is not enough to get those top shelf books. You really need to rethink that.
Empty. Too bad. For Whom the Bell Almost Tolled by Suki Snobs. Fascinating stuff.
Interesting.
Confessions of a Steam Addict by Ezra Bartley. I think I'm better off not knowing.
Okay.
For the publisher of a sensationalist rag, Brentwell is awfully well read. Assuming he actually has read all those books, of course.
Yeah, this room looks perhaps a little bit bigger than it should be. I mean, even next to the door, it looks a little bit small. Alright.
I have some questions for you, Mr. Brentwell.
Wonderful! It's
Oh
so
my God.
seldom I get to answer questions.
Goodness me. Oh wow, look at that mustache. Why does he look like Michael Sheen in disguise? Is it just me? It looks like Michael Sheen as Azrael. Gosh.
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Desiree Lathan. Oh, why, she came to me a few weeks ago in response to an ad I took out requesting articles. She told me she had an idea readers would love. We agreed on 10 crowns per paragraph, and she was on her way. Come to think of it, I haven't heard from her in a few days.
She did.
Were you aware that Miss Lathan is dead?
What? No, I had no idea. What happened?
I'm not exactly sure. She seems to have burned to death under mysterious circumstances.
Mysterious circumstances?
Indeed.
Most of her body was burnt to ash, but there's very little fire damage around her. It's as though she herself just caught fire.
Oh, that sounds positively ghastly.
Indeed.
Is something wrong?
I just remembered. The article she was writing. Dear God. I hope she didn't go too far with her research.
Tell me more about
What exactly was Desiree's article about?
I'm not entirely sure. She merely came to me with the proposal.
She didn't tell you what that idea was?
She did, but I wasn't sure what to make of it.
Please, Mr. Brentwell, stop stalling and tell me what she was writing
Maybe she
about.
did, but there has to be more to it than
about
that.
Spontaneous human combustion.
Aha!
What do you know about spontaneous human combustion?
That's the thing. I don't know very much at all. It sounded interesting enough. That's why I accepted Miss Lathan's proposal to write the article about it.
But what do you know about it?
Only that it's a mysterious phenomenon in which a person catches fire spontaneously and burns to death. Sounds exactly as you described Miss Lathan's condition.
Do you know what Miss Lathan's research on the subject
here's the
involved?
thing.
Only the one contact I gave her, a Miss Angela Maxwell at the Spectre Society in Gascon.
I remember seeing a book at the Spectre Society about spontaneous human combustion, and I read it last time I played this game, and I made a few comments on it, and I was like, oh, that's neat. And I've mentioned this before, but there's always a reason behind spontaneous human combustion. Like, there's always an underlying factor, like, and it's already been mentioned by the lady in the bar that Desiree used to, well, she drank a lot. And if she drank a lot, then it's very likely that she may have, dropped a cigarette on herself while passing out drunk. And that's actually how that happens. And it can light the alcohol as well, like you said. We have our fuel. Shit, this guy with Joke from Shadow the Comet. They would make a great couple. Absolutely.
The Spectre Society, huh? Shouldn't be surprised to hear that name again.
Are you a member?
Actually, I am.
Yeah.
I suggest you do some research there. There's bound to be something relevant in that
Mr.
curious
Parker.
library of theirs.
Thank you. Perhaps I will.
Interesting. You know what? I want to know about you. Tell me about yourself.
What made you decide to start this business?
I always wanted to be a journalist. I never had much luck with any of the local papers, though. So
We all
I
miss
decided to
Jug.
start my own. I admit it's not exactly what I wanted, but I like to think Brentwell magazine has found its own unique voice.
Voice? More like a gurgling scream.
Don't be mean, Bill.
Tell me about Brentwell magazine.
We're a monthly publication focusing on both fiction and non-fiction pieces.
Curious.
My dream was to have a magazine that was well-respected and educational. But sadly, it seems today's audiences are much more interested in reading about sightings of giant bat creatures or mysterious buried treasures.
Hey, those are valid too.
I hear you have a bit of a reputation for making your reporters do questionable things for their articles.
You are mistaken, Mr. Fordham. I don't force my writers to do anything.
You just seem like an
Seem to have
eccentric.
this notion that the more extreme their research, the more authentic the articles will be.
What sort of extremes are we talking about here?
We had one writer who attempted to heighten the sensation of fear she wanted to express in her story.
Okay.
Damn near decapitated herself by sticking her head through an opening at the clock tower at St. Denis Cathedral.
Damn.
Ugh. Thankfully, she made it out alive. It would have been quite the predicament if she hadn't.
That's one way of phrasing it, yeah.
Considering that was our most popular article last year. Oh, people have such odd taste.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Brentwell.
The pleasure is all mine.
Interesting fellow. When I ever do Prisoner of Ice, I would like to, yeah. That's definitely something I'd like to do at some. I'd actually like to cover all the Call of Cthulhu games. I've already done Shadow of the Comet, but Prisoner of Ice, Dark Corners of the Earth, and the recent Call of Cthulhu game are all games I'd be completely down to cover. Absolutely. So, but yeah, if I was to do any of those, Prisoner of Ice would be the next one. Plague Harry looks a little bit like Paul McGann. Like a very tired Paul McGann, I would say. Yeah. Prisoner of Ice is going to be funny because it's so much happens, then it's boring, and then so much happens. Okay. Alright. Filing
I can only
cabinets.
begin to imagine how many lurid and salacious articles are kept in those cabinets.
How big are these filing cabinets compared to, okay. That perspective is very odd. That does not quite look right. No, that's a little bit off. Okay, let's leave anyway. We're done here. Okay. The Spectre Society. Let's go back there then. Hello again.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
Let's have a look at this bookcase. Mystery.
This all sounds strangely familiar, but spontaneous human combustion can't be real, can it? Then again, sometimes the simplest explanation is the correct one.
Well, here's the thing. The victims are usually chronic alcoholics. It was mentioned by the lady in the bar that she drank a lot. They are usually elderly females. She was. The hands and feet usually fall off. They did. The fire has caused very little damage to things around the body. That's true. A residue of grease and fetid ashes are left behind. That's also true. This all matches. Most of this... Thank you for the subscription, Paltheus. 3 months. How you doing? Most physicians and investigators strongly believe that spontaneous human combustion is a product of alcoholism. And that's... I am definitely in agreement with that. I think she, Yeah, the sound and thought we solved the puzzle. Okay. Maybe she can tell me...
ask you about some things,
tell me
Miss
some
Maxwell?
new things
Certainly,
about...
darling.
Are you familiar with a woman named Desiree Lathan?
Yes, she came to see me just last week.
Really?
She told me she was doing research for an article she was writing for Brentwell magazine.
Actually adds up, yeah.
What sort of research?
She asked me a few questions and looked at my books. That was all. She wasn't here for very long.
She's
And what
dead.
was she researching?
Something about spontaneous human combustion, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that Desiree Lathan is
It
dead?
is almost too perfect. That's what I'm
My
thinking.
God, no, I didn't. What happened to her?
She was found burned to death in her bed.
Funny that.
How awful.
Do you have any idea how this may have happened?
There are a number of possibilities. But if she was in the middle of researching spontaneous human combustion, and then to have this happen, it can't be a coincidence.
Are you suggesting she herself was a victim of
Yeah, the
spontaneous
colours on her
combustion?
face does make it look like
One
she's got a
may
bit of
only
stubble.
compare the circumstances of her death with the facts, darling.
She can't be serious, can she?
What can you tell me about spontaneous human combustion?
I'm not overly familiar with the subject, but I do have a book about it on the shelf back
I already just read it, don't worry.
You are welcome to look at it if it will help.
I did.
I may, but I'd like to know what your understanding of it is.
Well, I believe it is when the human body inexplicably catches fire and burns. It usually occurs among elderly women who drink to excess, and very little fire damage is caused around the body. That's really all I know, darling. It's not a very agreeable subject for study now, is it?
Thank you for the information. It was very enlightening.
It was my pleasure, darling.
Have I ever spent the day talking like an adventure game protagonist? I might have done that before, yeah.
There's quite a few members in this group.
I wanted to have a look at... Okay, I can't look at anything there. I'm wondering... So, obviously the first instinct here is to believe that, you know, perhaps it's just a regular spontaneous human combustion thing where she drank too much, accidentally lit herself on fire, and that was that. But, is it possible that there's more to it than that, and someone wanted it to look like spontaneous human combustion? That's what makes it curious. I think we also have to find out if she had any possible enemies as well.
May the spirits guide you to that which you seek.
Yeah, that's fine, no worries. The secretary. Entirely possible, yeah. He was a bit of a jerk. Let's review what we've got so far with Upton, and then maybe she'll be able to point us in an interesting direction.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
I can wrap up the case, so wow. I think there's more to it.
Have a moment to go over my current case?
I'm afraid you're on your own this time, Fordham.
Okay.
The walls have ears around here. If they find
Fair
out
enough.
I'm helping you, it won't end well for either of us.
Okay, no hints from you
Understood.
in this
I'll
case
still be
then.
here when you've solved it, though.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
Okay, so there's something that we want to do. We want to find some decent evidence. Maybe you can talk to your wife. That's what I was about to do. Maybe we can find some decent evidence of Desiree being, you know.
Hello, dearest. I have returned.
Hello, Miles.
Addie?
What is it, Miles?
Apologize. Compliment her. I'll cycle through these.
What have you been up to lately?
Nothing particularly
Addie's
exciting.
great.
My usual clients have been scheduling appointments, and I've been trying to get some new ones as well. In my free time, I've been catching up on my reading.
Anything good?
Lovely.
Yes, the conclusion to the disassembling mechanism was just published in Brentwell magazine last week.
What's that?
James Penstroke's latest serial. I wanted to read it to you, but you haven't been around much
Brentwell
lately.
magazine.
Perhaps I'll take a look now that I can actually concentrate again.
Curious.
Yes, you could read it to me. I wouldn't mind hearing it again. It would certainly be a nicer way to spend your time than going out drinking.
Yeah, 10 Elements, Walking Out is right. Alternate history, Louisiana, basically. New Britannia. James Penstroke, what a name for a writer. Yeah, definitely.
Addie, please know that I'm deeply sorry for my behavior last night. I'll do everything I can to make it up to you. Would you like me to get some new begonias?
I don't need pretty flowers or pretty words, Miles. I just want things to go back to how they were. That's really all the apology I require.
It's very true. You can't just, like, apologize to people with, like, stuff. Bribes, basically. You've got to prove that you won't do that again. That's how apologies actually work. What's up, Emma?
You're looking especially lovely today, Addie.
Miles, don't flirt with me. Not now.
Okay.
I wouldn't push my luck with her, Miles. She hasn't completely forgiven you.
My name is Richard Lawbreaker, and I'm going to rob this bank. I found that funny because he would also be called Dick Lawbreaker. Compliment her again. Let's not do that.
Was Desiree Lathan a client of yours by any chance?
No, but plenty of the other grand dames used to gossip about her.
What sort of things would they say?
Usually they'd comment about how much she'd had to drink the night before. I got the impression she was quite the tippler. I hope you're not planning on following her example.
No, no.
That would require me to
My
burn to
friends
death in
call
a
me
bed.
Dick.
Then I stand by my previous statement.
Right.
I'll let you get back to your book.
It said she was very hot. Wonder if I can pick up the newspaper. I know they said they don't need to bring it in, but... Evidence.
Ah, to have it.
Oh.
Time for me to get some things done.
Good luck.
Wait. I think it's a reference to, like, the recent Scooby-Doo movie with Dick Dastardly as the villain. Could I put a newspaper on the secretary? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Usher and Price. That's what we... I wonder if there's any evidence that we missed here that could possibly suggest...
Nothing new to ask him about right now.
I'm afraid I need to...
Alright. There's a person whose name has the word dick in it. I tell you, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Yeah. Also, for those of you who haven't seen the body yet, take a gander at this. Golly. That's horrifying. That's definitely going to be the thumbnail for this stream.
Looks like this one barely managed to survive. That's a nice port. The area...
But the date is still legible.
It's a painting from this year. I was wondering.
Nothing else.
Peter Andrews. There was a Peter Andrews who seemed to be stalking her. Hey, Mystic, how you doing? Are they selling chocolate? I did not make that connection. Keller, I help you. Oh, that's funny. Could he have changed a will somehow? That is true. I think we might have to go to the supper club again. See, I don't like this, but look, I think we might have to use our masculine wiles with this old lady here. So I'm just gonna... Alright.
Miss Robino?
Oh, it's you again. Have you come to ask me more questions?
I'm afraid
Yes,
so.
if you wouldn't mind.
No. Be my guest.
Peter Andrews, oh.
Is the name Peter Andrews familiar to you?
Peter Andrews? Is he still around?
I don't know.
I'd be able to tell you that if you told me who he is.
He's desperate. That's who he is.
Doesn't really answer my question.
A lovesick fool who is obsessed with Desi. Sent her love letters all of the time.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know where I can find him?
Why would you want to?
Because I want to question
yeah.
him about Miss Lathan's death.
I suppose that makes some sense.
Uh-huh.
All I remember Desi telling me is that he worked at the Bank of Vespuccia. A clerk or some such. Imagine.
What's wrong with
Thank
being
you.
a
That's
clerk at a
very helpful.
bank? It's a job. You know what? You don't get a
Thanks for your time.
compliment.
I'll let you get back to your
None of
drink.
my wiles will be...
Thanks, sweetheart.
Don't talk to me. None of my wiles will be used on you today. You give me what I need. Okay.
Mr. Fordham.
Hello.
Oh.
Mr. Dupre, fancy
Oh.
running into you here.
Hey.
I told you I worked at the bank. I can't believe you have the nerve to show your face here after what you did to Juliet.
I did nothing to Juliet. The evidence indicated her guilt.
Well, the evidence was clearly wrong.
I
You
think
ruined
it
her
was
life
wrong as well.
as my family's.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Mr. Dupre, but I'm afraid what's done is done.
That may be, but I take some solace in knowing I can do my part to make your
Oh.
life more difficult. Leave now, Mr. Fordham. You are not welcome here.
Oh.
I am fully within my rights to be here. I've done nothing wrong.
Perhaps the police will be able to sort that out once I sound the alarm.
You wouldn't.
Try me.
Best not to see if he's bluffing, Miles.
Damn.
Fine. Good day to you, Mr. Dupre.
I think we may have suffered some consequences for our actions there. I think because I got the first case wrong, we've locked ourselves out of some evidence for this case as well. That's actually really neat. That's a really neat consequence. Like, it's a bummer that I can't solve this case now, but at the same time, that's really cool. I really like that. Okay. I guess we've hit a roadblock then. Would I consider replaying the game to get the correct ending to this case? Maybe not on stream. I'm thinking of doing a playthrough of it in my own time and maybe doing a video on it. So yeah, I'll probably replay it for that, obviously, to get the footage and everything. And I'll probably do multiple things to kind of show consequences. Interesting. Interesting. I really like that. That's cool. That is cool. Okay. I love it. I was talking about this like on Twitter the other day. I really like it when point and clicks have like variables. I'm not talking like the sort of telltale ones. I'm talking like sort of things that are either randomized or like consequences for something you do can affect something later on. Because I was thinking, like, you know, Fate of Atlantis obviously has the multiple paths and randomization in it. Does I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream have randomization and stuff in it? Because I have not played that one, actually. That's a point and click I haven't gotten around to yet. I've had it for years, and I've always intended to get around to it, but I just never have. Alright, I'll have to see if I can find some evidence about, what's his face? To prove that she's dead. That has to be a separate bit of evidence. King's Quest 6? Does it? Does King's Quest 6 have, like... Actually, King's Quest does have some branching paths, to be fair. Like, a little bit. Yeah, you're right. Now that you mention it. To do with, like, the, how much you interact with, Casima. Different things can happen. I actually beat, like... The first couple times I beat King's Quest 6, I didn't get the best ending. Conversations change at the beginning depending on who you speak to first. Yeah, true. God, King's Quest 6 is great. It is great. And I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream has a sort of morality meter to it where you can fuck up really badly. Okay, yeah, that sounds interesting. Alright, where should we go? We need to find evidence to prove that Desiree's dead. Where can we get that from? If not the newspaper. Dang. Anything at the police station we can get?
Miles, are you crazy? If you go wandering around the department for no good reason, Snelling will have you thrown in the jail.
Yeah, fair enough. No doubt. Damn. Okay, I wonder if there's any new dialogue options that have opened with this guy then. Thank you for the horse, Mystic.
Begging your pardon, sir.
Yes?
Perhaps...
No.
Actually. You're thinking of King's Quest 5, Walker Nutty. King's Quest 6 is a much better game, much more well designed on the whole, I would say. I think King's Quest 6 is by far and wide the best King's Quest game. It's like actually a really good game. Like really, really good. Like one of my favorite adventure games of all time. It has a couple of sort of dead ends in it. Specifically if you don't get the skeleton key. But either way, there's only like a couple things rather than King's Quest 5, which is constantly throwing dead ends at you. And I like King's Quest 5, but that game does not like the player. Alright. I don't know if there's any other evidence we can get. We might just have to go with the explanation of spontaneous human combustion on this one. That might be all we've got. Because we can't follow the Peter Andrews lead because Mr. Dupre doesn't like us anymore. I think that's at Brentwell.
I don't.
No.
I can only. Brentwell as a front.
Right. The only thing I can think of left to do. Actually, I don't know. I think we might have just hit a dead end with this one, unfortunately. I mean, we can still do the compliment thing. Just restart the entire game. Yeah, that's the way to do it, definitely. Let's compliment this lady. I'm gonna save over my masculine wiles. Alright, it's your lucky day, Charlotte
Miss
Robineau.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh god, I have to choose a compliment? Are you serious? You have the most radiant smile. Your hair is quite lovely, and I greatly admire your fashion sense. She's not really smiling. I would say she has nice hair. Although, you know, grey. But it looks like nicely coiffed. Fashion sense. Yeah.
You've really got a great sense of fashion and style. All the other grand dames must be jealous.
Oh, you.
Okay. That didn't really seem to do anything. I'll just go through these then.
I must compliment you on your lovely hairstyle.
Oh, how sweet of you to say. Though it is getting a bit ragged. I'm having it done this afternoon, in fact. My girl Adelaide is a treasure.
Ah.
You don't say. Well, she must be talented to improve on near perfection.
Oh, such a flattering tongue, Mr. Fordham.
Oh god, don't talk about my tongue. Please do not talk about my tongue.
Can I just say you've got the most radiant smile I've ever seen?
Oh god, Fordham.
Why, that's very sweet of you, Mr. Fordham.
It's true. Not many women your age still have all their teeth intact.
Okay.
I beg your pardon.
I didn't know you were such a master of the high kick.
Yeah, that didn't quite work, did it?
In your mouth in record time.
I just meant... You know what? Never mind. Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to your drink.
Well, that
Thanks,
didn't
sweetheart.
quite work out as planned.
I may have more questions.
Right.
These are all high-end foo-foo liqueurs and cordials. You couldn't pay me to drink that rubbish.
I don't think there's anything left for us to do. I think we just have to, there has to be another avenue through this. Or does the Peter Andrews thing just kind of lock us out of anything else we could do?
I don't think there's...
May this...
Trying to see if there's anything else we can talk about with any other person. Don't worry about any walkthroughs. Well, it's not that I won't be able to beat it. It's just that I when I give my answer, I'm fairly certain it'll be the wrong answer because I don't have the evidence to like back up any other claim. Which is unfortunate, but it is part of the game. The game is designed in a way where, you know, you should be expected to fail every now and then. You're not always going to get things right. And I haven't. So, like in LA Noire, exactly. Let's see. I'm gonna see if there's anyone else to talk to. Yeah, we'll be able to get to the end.
An invitation to the gas...
Okay. Trying to see if there's...
Judging by these... Definitely two...
I'm afraid I...
All right.
Oop. Okay. Is there anything we missed in here?
The flames must have
Stain.
been fairly high to be able to stain the ceiling like that.
Okay. See if there's anything that I missed here. I'll still be able to get to the end. It won't be like a...
Nothing else of interest.
Okay. I was painted this year.
That's a nice portrait. The area where the artist...
But the date...
I wonder if that's like relevant somehow. Alright. I'm gonna go home. Maybe Adelaide has...
Hey, Addie.
Welcome home.
Something else I can talk about?
Addie?
What is it, Miles?
Nope. Charlotte Robino.
You've got an appointment with Charlotte Robino later today, don't you?
Are you using your detecting skills on me now?
I'm just
I spoke
asking.
with her at the Gascon Supper Club, and she mentioned you. Turns out she knew Desiree Lathan.
Makes sense. That social circle is tiny.
She wasn't very forthcoming, though. Do you think you might try and persuade her to talk?
Ooh.
Persuasion shouldn't be necessary. She usually just sits in the chair and starts...
I think we
gossiping
found an
up a
in.
storm. I think I know more about all the Gascon Grand Dames than anyone should.
That's good. That's very good.
Thank you, Ogun, for the 50 bits. Saved by the Cougar. Exactly. Alright. Here's what I want to know.
Right. These are the things I want you to ask her about.
Okay. Alright.
So you want me to take off about an inch, but keep enough for your curls?
Yes, that's right. You know how I like it, Adelaide.
Ooh, I'm playing as Adelaide here. What happened to Desiree Lathan? Okay. As a
How was the Grand Dame's ball? Was your hairdo a hit?
Oh, it was. All those other old biddies were practically fainting with jealousy. Truth be told, though, the evening was rather dull. Just the regular crowd of wags and gossips.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes I envy people like you, Adelaide.
People like me?
Yes, you know, ordinary people. Being a member
Okay.
of high society can be so draining. One quite lacks a sense of purpose, of ordinary, honest usefulness that comes from a good day's labor.
Have you done much of that sort of labor yourself, madam?
What? No, of course not.
Oh, of course
But
not.
I imagine it must be quite good for the soul, quite grounding. Just being what you are.
Yeah, just give me
No
all your money
airs
then.
and pretense. Oh, you've missed a bit there on the left ear. Do be sure it comes out even.
Questioning
Certainly,
Adelaide's haircutting skills. I'm not going to be direct about this because I think that would be suspicious.
Has anyone special caught your eye recently?
Ha! No, I think I'm getting too old for most of the young pups I see around these days. Besides, marriage has proved to be more trouble than it's worth. I'm finished with that whole game. Although there was one fellow who came into the supper club today. Pity he was only interested in asking questions.
Oh?
Yes, the dark brooding type. Sleepless nights
yeah, that's
etched
definitely me.
all over his face. Still handsome, though. I invited him to join me for a drink, but he refused.
Yes!
Turned out he was a private investigator, if you can believe it.
She's proving that I didn't go drinking.
What was he asking about?
Nothing of consequence. I didn't tell him very much anyway.
Probably for the best he didn't join you for that drink then.
The music you're playing is lovely.
I have to say, your musical selection for today is lovely.
It's nice to know someone like you can appreciate some of the finer points of culture. In case you were wondering, the piece is the Fourth Symphony by a composer named Theophilus von Wagner.
Okay.
Yes, it's refreshing to hear the Fourth Symphony for a change. Most people know von Wagner for his Fifth Symphony or his Lute Concerto in D minor.
Oh, you know von Wagner?
Although I admit he isn't one of my favorite Baroque
There's a lot of
composers,
loaded
I
language
can
with there, isn't
appreciate what
there?
he brought to the
Someone
movement.
like you.
I'm more in
Yeah.
favor of Scaravaldi. His
Scaravaldi.
development of the Concerto Grosso makes for a much richer musical tapestry. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, well, perhaps so.
Do you have any favorites among Scaravaldi's works?
His First Symphony is quite riveting.
Do you mean his Concerto for Mandolin? He didn't have a First Symphony.
Oh
as
my
such.
god, she
Well,
is showing this lady up. I love it.
As much as I enjoy chatting, perhaps you should
Get her, Addie.
concentrate on what you're doing, dear.
I got an achievement for that. I wonder. Okay, so we've got two options now. We've got the what happened to Desiree Lathan, or it certainly is cool out there today. If we can't just resort to talking about the weather. That's a bit much. Maybe we should ask about Desiree now. What do people think? Because I feel like talking about the weather is not going to get us anything we need. Right. Yeah, what are we, British? She did mention gossip earlier. Okay, I'm going to go for it.
I was reading in the paper this morning about what happened with Desiree Lathan.
That's a bit more subtle than I was
Did you hear
expecting.
about
That, yeah.
Oh, such a tragedy. Poor Desi. We hadn't talked in a long time, but how terrible to think of her dying in such a horrible way.
My condolences.
Thank you, dear.
I don't think she was involved, but
Did you and Desiree used to be friends?
Oh, we were like sisters at one point.
Oh, really?
What happened?
What else? A man got involved.
What kind of man?
You were both after the same man?
No, quite the contrary. We both enjoyed being unattached and had vowed to keep it that way. The Spinster Sisters, we used to call ourselves.
Catchy.
But I fell for a man a few years ago. We got married, and Desiree stopped speaking to me.
That's
I
a shame.
see.
Yes, especially considering the marriage only lasted a few brief months. I lost both my husband and my best friend.
Yeah, that's rough.
I'm sure there's a lesson to be learned in that.
They're bisexuals, Harold. Ooh, the portrait, yes. This is something I wanted to learn about.
I heard someone mention that Desiree had her portrait painted recently.
Yes, I heard that too. I think it was Caroline who told me.
Caroline
yes,
who?
That was it. Caroline. She was looking for a portrait artist and told me Desiree had found one. Roger DeVay, I think she said his name was.
Sounds mysterious.
Roger DeVay? Sounds mysterious. Who
He's
is he?
Irish, huh?
Well, I don't know about mysterious. He's just an artist. Not a very good one either, from what I hear.
That's not
He
too bad.
didn't do a good job on the portrait?
Oh, no, he did fine. I just meant he hasn't really taken off. His paintings aren't worth very much, you see.
And that's the measure
But
of whether
Desiree took
someone's
a
art is
liking to him
good.
very
How much
quickly.
it's worth.
Even went as far as giving him an extra key to her apartment.
Oh!
If there was anything more going on between them, I couldn't say.
An extra key,
But
you say?
She could have done a lot better.
Well,
if
how
you ask me.
curious.
I mean, he's barely even an artist now.
Not necessarily,
I
but
heard he took a teaching
it does
position
open
at
up a
the
new
university.
avenue of
Now,
investigation.
who would want their likeness immortalized by a lecturer?
I see.
Ah.
Well, I hope he makes it in the world someday.
Miracles may happen.
That's what I mean, Ebak. I was being snarky about it. I was saying like, oh yeah, the measure of an artist is how much their paintings are worth, sarcastically, because that's obviously not true. All right, I think that's good. We have learned some important information.
Good. I think that's all finished.
Thank you, Adelaide. It was a pleasure, as always.
Likewise,
No
Miss
worries,
Robinow.
Ebak.
I'll see you next week. And she didn't tip very well either.
Of course you didn't.
I'm sorry, dear. She sounds
Oh, thank you for the
dreadful.
follow.
No more than the
Ulquior
other
Rachel
Gascon Grand Downs.
4.
I just hope you managed to get something useful from that.
All right. Adelaide's great. I adore that character. She's lovely. And badass. What did we learn? We learned about Roger DeVay, who was the painter of the portrait. And that's the important bit.
Enjoy your reading. I'll be back soon.
Good luck.
So now we can actually go back to the University of New Britannia. Oh, wow. Okay, that is a naked man. That is that's just a straight up naked guy there. All right. Life drawings, cool. That's a butt. Hey, Roger.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Are you Roger DeVay?
I am.
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I have some questions for you if you aren't too busy.
Will this take long? This isn't exactly the best time.
Quite a well-muscled
It
fella,
shouldn't,
actually,
no.
isn't he?
All right then, quickly.
Okay, that sure is a facial hair you've got there, Mr. DeVay. All right, tell me about Desiree Lathan.
Do you know Desiree Lathan?
Desiree? Yes, of course I know her. What happened to her was just awful.
Indeed. My condolences, Mr. DeVay. What can you tell me about her?
She was a wonderful woman. Sharp, full of life, extremely witty. I only knew her for a short time, but I consider myself lucky to have had her as a friend.
How did you two meet?
We were introduced at a party and became fast friends. It's hard to believe she's really gone.
Okay.
Do you have any information regarding Desiree's death?
I reckon...
No, none at all. It came as a total shock. I heard she was burned to death. Well, is that true?
It is.
It's really just unthinkable.
Do you know of anyone who might have wished harm upon her?
Bit Wildian, yeah, I know what you mean.
Everyone loved her.
As in, like,
To think
Oscar
someone
Wilde?
could be capable of doing that to her, it just makes me feel sick.
Can we stay in the naked man room? Oh.
You painted Desiree's portrait, is that right?
Yes, I finished it just a few months ago.
Do you often do commissioned work?
Sometimes, but this wasn't exactly a commission. More like a gift.
You mean you weren't paid for it?
No, I didn't do it for money. It was an honor just to paint her.
I see.
I see. And did she like the result?
Well, she had it hanging in her bedroom and not in her attic, so I assumed she liked it well enough.
It was a rather nice portrait, I must admit.
Oh, so you've seen it?
I have.
Indeed, I have. Regrettably, I can't comment on the likeness, never having seen the subject in life.
Ah, yes. Well, she used to say that standing in front of it was like looking into a mirror. I tried my best to do her justice.
Well, either it was really good or she was being very nice.
How long have you been teaching at this university?
About 4 years now.
And do you also earn money with your painting?
Not of late. I haven't sold a painting in some time. But my salary from the university is enough for the time being. Perhaps someday I'll be able to devote the proper focus to my painting.
I'll let you get back to your class.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, look! Rocks!
I suppose you could refer to those as rocks, yes. Thank you, back with 95 bits. Let's have a look.
Well, so much for modesty. Ooh, is it warm in here or is it just me?
Bill! Everyone is horny here. Everyone is horny.
These aren't half bad. Nice to know the students aren't completely wasting their time here.
Well, anything else I can look at in here?
I'm guessing it's locked, but it probably only contains more art supplies we don't care about. Where dreams go to die.
I see. Okay, I don't think there's anything else we can see here. This is an important hint, I suppose. But, again, I'm not sure where we can go after this. How is the sass? Oh, he's very sassy. How you doing, Timon? Okay. What is it me or does his sprite, his pixel sprite form look like Mr. Rogers? Anyone else seen that, like the sort of green cardigan? It kind of looks like Mr. Rogers. All right, I don't think we can do anything else here anyway. Again, I think we've hit a dead end here on this particular case. You wouldn't want him in your neighborhood. Yeah. I don't... Thing is... We need to try and find a way to speak with, I wonder if there's anyone we can speak to about Roger DeVay. Perhaps. She's gone. Okay, never mind.
I don't...
Nope. Seeing if anyone else has got any conversation, he just walks in, looks at him, and walks back out again. Mr. Brentwood's like, okay then. Alright, that's fair enough. You got anything else to say?
Nothing.
No. I'm just seeing if anyone's got anything else to talk about? I mean, we can review
Got a moment?
Yeah.
We can only wrap up the case, can't we? I don't want to do that yet. I just want to see if I can find any last bits of evidence to see if I can put this case on track. But I think I might have just inadvertently locked myself out because of what I did in the first case. No. Yeah, I think we've pretty much covered all we can cover. Oil residue on cloth. Oil residue. See, I reckon it's possible that Roger and Desiree had perhaps a thing, but he was only doing it in order to get her money, and he would be in the will, so he would get her money afterwards. But because he had a key to the apartment, according to Charlotte. I think I might just have to wrap this case up. I can't think of anywhere else we can go, and I did hear about that actually. With the Last of Us 2 stuff. It's not really a game that ever interested me anyway, so... Also, 5-month subscription, nice! Thank you very much. Damn. Damn. Right. Okay. I'm gonna have to wrap it up, I think. Well, not the stream. I mean, this particular case. I just don't think we've got enough evidence to pursue any other ideas. It's a shame. It's a shame. Damn shame.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Why is she not in the coffee shop? She's just not in it today.
I'm done with the Lathan case.
Oh? What have you got?
Unsolvable case or human combustion? That's all I got.
She was the unfortunate victim of spontaneous human combustion.
I beg your pardon?
There isn't a scientific explanation for it, but she fits all the criteria. She was an elderly woman, she was known to drink excessively, and the way her body burnt is consistent with all previous accounts of spontaneous combustion. Add to that the fact that very little around her was damaged by fire, and you've got a textbook case.
You know, I heard a few of the officers talking about a demon getting into her, but I had no idea it was an actual documented occurrence. Well, this is certainly one of the more unusual explanations we've had, but I'll pass it along. Although I'm sorry you won't be able to gloat to Snelling that you solved the case before his detectives did.
I can find other means of amusement, I think.
Good work, Fordham. As usual, I'll send anything else your way as soon as I get it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's all I could really glean from that one.
Dearest, I'm back.
There you are. I was starting to get worried you wouldn't make it home in time.
Hey, that's okay.
In time for what?
Yeah, okay.
For dinner at the Rutherfords. I told you about it the other night, don't you remember?
I'm terribly sorry, dear. It must have slipped my mind.
How you haven't yet been presented a prize for Husband of the Year is beyond me.
Shut up, Bill.
There's still time for you to get ready if you hurry.
I can only try and squeeze my way out of it.
Why don't we spend a nice quiet evening in together? I'd much prefer that.
We've had a quiet evening in every night for the past 3 weeks. I need to get out of the house.
Then go ahead without me. Please give Anne and Joseph my regrets.
So you're just going to sit here at home by yourself?
Oh,
I'll probably
Miles.
just catch up on my reading or try and get some sleep. Maybe I'll get around to reading that story in Brentwell's.
All right, suit yourself. I shouldn't be home too late, but don't wait up.
Have a wonderful time, my love.
Well, that was a very formal goodbye.
Ah, alone at last.
If only I were.
Get out of my head,
Careful
Bill.
what you wish for, Miles. You just might get it.
Seeing as I won't, I think another trip to the Angels in order.
Hey, whoa.
You gonna break your word in addition to lying?
Miles, no!
Nonsense. I'll be home in no time.
No, Miles.
Just be a quick drink to calm my nerves and get you out of my hair.
Jeez.
I think I need a machete for that, Fordham.
Very funny.
Miles, no.
So, that last case was really something. Spontaneous combustion. Who would have thought? You might want to take it easy on the drinking, Miles. Don't want you randomly catching fire, too.
Oh, God.
You're not listening to me, are you? Oh, right. You've had 2 drinks already. Fine. I'll just see myself out.
Copper for your thoughts, Miles?
Oh, I was just thinking about a story I read tonight in Brentwell magazine. It's called The Dissembling Mechanism. Are you familiar with it?
Afraid not. Brentwell isn't really my type of magazine.
It isn't mine either. But my wife suggested I read it, and it struck a bit of a chord.
Go on then. What's it about?
There's this inventor. He's the greatest mind of his age. Oh, there's this inventor. She's the greatest mind of her age. Okay. Well, I'm going to imagine that the greatest inventor is Addie, so...
The story concerns an inventor, a woman who's the greatest mind of the modern age. In this story, ethericity's been discovered, and the inventor understands and uses it in her work.
Ah, one of those fantastic speculative stories.
What if your wife finds you relapsing while she's down? That's what I'm worried about.
Wonders, the likes of which the world has never seen.
Oh, okay. This is actually... The inventor's spouse dies tragically. The inventor's child dies tragically. The inventor's sibling dies tragically. Spouse, child, or sibling? I'm gonna go with child. That's more tragic.
The inventor has a son whom she loves dearly. One day, he meets a tragic end in a carriage accident. The inventor is devastated.
All too common in these types of stories.
Yes, well, as I mentioned before, the inventor is the greatest mind of the modern age. She spends weeks researching a way to bring him back. She toils for hours, forgetting to eat, neglecting her duties, forgetting her friends. Finally, she finds a way to repair his broken body with mechanical implants. Once that's done, she harnesses the power of ethericity and revives him from death.
Why would she go and do something like that?
Fueled by guilt.
Because the inventor's obsession was fueled by guilt. She
Exciting.
felt responsible for the death of her loved one, and would stop at nothing to make things right.
But why? She had nothing to do with the accident, did she?
Guilt is a strange emotion, Patrick. It can easily trump rationality, believe me. In any case, things don't go well. The inventor brings her son back, and at first he's confused, wild. With time and patience, she tries to ease him back into the world of the living. But gradually, she comes to realize that this person she's brought back isn't her son. Not as he was, anyway.
Bit of a
she understands what she's
Pet
done.
Cemetery
She flies into a fit of madness.
situation.
She kills both her creation and herself.
Okay.
How tragic.
She also leaves behind a note which closes
A modern
off
day
the story.
Prometheus,
I can
indeed.
still recall the exact words. This dissembling mechanism hath not the vital breath of he whom I loved. It is not him. I have formed but a vain, mocking shadow of what is forever lost.
That's one hell of a story, Miles.
As I said, it resonated with me quite deeply.
Same here. I can tell you, I'm glad that ethericity crap hasn't been discovered, or else this sort of thing won't just be in stories. You mark my words.
Oh boy.
Yes, I suppose that's one way of interpreting it. I should probably be getting home.
One last gin for the road?
Ah, what the hell? Why not?
Ah, hell, why not?
How did I get that word for word almost?
It's later than I thought.
Okay.
Addie must be asleep.
Miles, I thought you said you were staying in tonight. What happened to you?
Nothing. I went out for a bit.
Uh-oh.
Lost track of
We're
time.
in trouble.
Miles, you're dead drunk.
No.
No, of course I'm not.
Hey, home, I'm honey.
Don't you dare keep lying to me, Miles. It's obvious. I can smell it on you.
But I'm not drunk. I only had 2, I think.
It's close to a 3, I
I don't
think.
care how many you had. You promised me this wouldn't happen again. Where exactly did you go tonight anyway?
I might as well be honest.
I was at the Angel.
The Angel? But why would you go there?
I suppose I was just trying to relive the old days.
So why didn't you tell me you were going?
I don't know.
Miles, this has to stop. First it was that sleep medicine, now you've started to go out drinking yourself into a stupor after you explicitly promised me you wouldn't again.
I'm not happy about it
You've
either,
been
actually.
keeping something from me and using drugs and drink as a way to avoid dealing with it.
No, really, it's just...
Yeah, actually
No,
there
Miles.
is.
I'm tired of the lies.
I think she should
I
be...
heard what you said when I came home from my appointment with Mrs. Lefebvre. God forbid Adelaide ever find out about something. I wanted to think I'd imagined it, so I let it go. But I've come to realize just how wrong.
Yeah, go off.
Addie, please.
Enough. No more excuses, no more lying. I just want to hear the truth.
Probably
What
should.
is it you're not telling me?
Probably should.
I can't tell you, Addie. I'm sorry, but if I do, you'll think I'm crazy.
I'm gonna try and tell the truth as much as I can.
Do you know what I think is crazy, Miles? The fact that you think it necessary to lie to your own wife. Am I to believe that for all these years you've never felt you could trust me?
Of course not. It's just that this is different.
A lie is a lie, Miles. And the bottom fact is you've been lying to me for months.
She's not wrong.
Perhaps I was too naive or too distracted to see what was really going on, but you finally opened my eyes. This can't go on. I refuse to let it go on.
What are you saying?
Uh-oh.
Get out, Miles. And don't come back
Damn.
until you're ready to tell me the truth.
Addie, you don't mean that.
I do mean it, Miles.
I'm
I
not gonna say you
care
don't
where
deserve it,
spend
dude.
The night, but it's not going to be here. If you ever decide you want to tell me what's going on, I'll listen. But until then, just go.
Well. Oh, no.
Oh.
Who's this? Oh, this is Constance.
Take me away from all my troubles.
Are we getting a musical number? Okay.
So far away from all the worries in my life. Who in the ether is calling at this time of night?
I'm sorry, Constance. I just got kicked out by my wife for being an alcoholic.
Miles, please come in. It's so nice to see you outside of work.
Oh, I get a hug and a kiss? Is that how it works now?
Apparently.
You put up your rough and tough attitude, but I know deep down you're really a kitten.
I'm not a kitten.
Upton, are you drunk?
No, of course not. I admit I like to have a glass of wine or 6 to unwind after work, but I can hold my own.
So we're both drunk.
I'm glad you're not, because I am.
Wait, what's going on? Is everything all right?
No, I'm afraid I've made a mess of things at home. Addie threw me out.
Oh, Miles. I'm terribly sorry to hear that.
Not as sorry as I am, believe me.
What happened?
It's really not worth getting into. Let's just say I need to figure some things out about my life.
Don't we all?
Constance, I hate to impose, but...
Of course you can stay here, Miles. As long as you need to.
Yeah.
Thank you. I won't need much space. That chair in the corner should do nicely.
Are you sure? You won't be uncomfortable?
He always sleeps sitting up. It's just how he does it.
I've slept in worse places, believe me.
All right. Well, I should probably be getting to bed. Early morning tomorrow and all that.
Of course.
I'm a big boy now.
Have a good night, Upton. And thank you again for letting me stay.
Yep,
Not a
I am a big boy now. Thank you, 10 for the 75 bits. Not a kitten, but I am a big boy. 1 week later. I wonder what this is about. Oh, it is the election.
Election night. The perfect opportunity to switch out one rich swindler for another. Don't know why you're wasting your time. It's not as though the Prime Minister actually does anything.
All right.
It's oddly quiet in here. Maybe my mustache drawing campaign had an effect after all.
Good evening, sir. Are you registered to vote?
Yes, I am. Here's my registration card.
Very good, Mr. Fordham. You've come at an excellent time. Go ahead and step inside a booth. Take as long as you need.
I will.
Thank you, young man.
Okay. Atwood pamphlets. So, re-elect Herbert Atwood. Citizens of New Britannia know a vote for Atwood is a vote for progress. The truth of the matter is that STEAM technology is a necessity in our modern lives. Prime Minister Atwood vows to fund etheric research and build a better, prosperous future for Vespuccia and its people. Don't be fooled by the lies and confusion of the ignorant masses. Bring Vespuccia into the future. That rhymes, I like it. Leroy. Citizens of New Britannia, do you want to be replaced by a machine? Have you or someone you love been killed by steam tech? Is it hard to understand how anyone could fall for the ethericity lie? Then vote Hart Leroy, a man of the people. We find ourselves at a crossroads. Politicians and con artists are trying to play you for a fool. The true future of Vespuccia lies in the sweat of its workers.
Watch out! A poisonous snake!
Thank you for the 100 bits, Mystic. Is this basically steampunk modern day? It's steampunk sort of 19th century, late 19th century. Don't fall for the lies and flights of fancy. Steam tech is not the solution. Hal Leroy will ensure that jobs are kept and strive to create even more of them. Keep your head out of the clouds and your feet on the ground. Vote Leroy. I don't know.
An ad for a brothel. At least they seem to know their audience.
Damn, okay.
I thought they were trying to encourage people to vote. With all these rules, it's a wonder anyone bothers.
Do you know who ate all the donuts?
Without Steam Tech, we wouldn't have donuts. Steam Tech ahoy. I don't know. Let's have a look again. So Herbert Atwood is very much just status quo, Steam technology, people getting replaced by machines, yada yada. But it is, you know, a non-stagnant thing too. Yeah, the thing is, Hart Leroy inspires the Redites, and they're quite reactionary. I don't know. It's very work-eccentric, which is pretty good. But the thing is he seems like he could be a bit of a populist. I don't live in this world, so I don't know how to make an informed decision here. The Redites are kind of, the Redites are kind of like, they were responsible for an explosion recently as well. They sabotaged some equipment that got people killed, maybe? So, you know what? I'm going to go with Herbert. I think that's probably the best choice here.
Well, that's taken care of. Thankfully, the Angels
Both probably suck, yeah.
So we can still have a nice quiet evening.
Got an achievement, civic duty. Who's out of the door? There's somebody at the door.
What? My head is pounding. Damn withdrawal.
Actually, I think someone's knocking at the door.
Come on.
Oh, right.
Get up. You fool. Who could it be? At this time of something.
Good afternoon, miss. If you're looking for Miss Upton, I'm afraid she's not in right now.
No, I've already spoken with Miss Upton. I'm looking for Mr. Miles Fordham.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm Miles Fordham. What can I do for you, Miss...
Mrs. Emily Morgan. I have a problem, you see. Miss Upton said you'd be able to help.
I suppose you'd better come in.
Interesting outfit she's got there.
What seems to be the trouble?
It's my brother, Ronan Lespay. He was murdered 4 nights ago outside a tavern in the Chum.
On election night? I was best having to see the outcome of the election. Alright.
How unfortunate. Please, go on.
The police took his body to the mortuary and investigated the crime scene, but they're out of ideas. I've been down there at the station every day, but they don't seem to care enough to look into it any further. All they've been able to determine was that it wasn't a robbery, and that the clothes he was wearing weren't his.
Well, that's unusual.
My brother was a good man, Mr. Fordham. He would never have willingly gone to that part of town. I need to know why he was murdered, and I want whoever did it to pay for it.
Okay.
Very well, Mrs. Morgan. I'll take your case.
Oh, Thank you, Mr. Fordham.
I just need to know where your brother was killed, and where I might be able to contact you.
He was found outside the Silent Raven. It's on Alewife Avenue, on the west side of the Chum. Here, take this. It's a photo of Ronan. It might help your investigation.
Thank you. I guess we have a new case then.
And if you need to speak with me, you can come to my husband's bakery. It's here in Worcester, at 15 Drummond Street.
Very good.
Sounds nice.
I'll begin my investigation right away.
Thank you again, Mr. Fordham. You have no idea how much this means to me.
Cool. Maybe we can find donuts,
This case
yeah.
has our names written all over it. Maybe it'll be good practice for finding the man who caused my death, eh?
We'll get there, Bill, don't worry. So, Hart Leroy won. So the guy we voted for did not win. Hart Leroy won instead. Well, at the very least, if I made the wrong choice, then it's not my fault anyway. And if I made the right choice, then I did all I could. After beating Herbert Atwood in a stunning upset, Hart Leroy has continued his victory tour, yesterday visiting the Thorbum Ironworks in Chumley. Workers cheered as the Prime Minister-elect gave a rousing speech in which he outlined his plans upon taking office next month. Your jobs are safe, your livelihoods are safe, Steam Tech will not replace you. Leroy repeated several times throughout his address to thunderous applause. Leroy defeated Atwood in a stunning landslide, wow! With over 73% of the vote. Most voters cited his stance on preserving jobs and shunning steam technology as the deciding factor. Leroy's first order of business will be resuming construction on the Gascogne-Chumley Bridge, creating several jobs. That sounds quite positive, actually. I don't know. There's the thing about Desiree Layton's death. Class action lawsuit filed against Royal Maverick. The law firm of Usher & Price, that was the place we went to before. I know there's a class action lawsuit. A class action lawsuit that's been filed against the Royal Maverick on behalf of those killed in Foster Park during the Ligeia disaster in the June of this year. I remember that being mentioned. That was the airship that blew up. Yeah. Interesting. Justice Killer strikes again. Okay. Interesting. Right. Photo of Ronan. A young, unremarkable looking man. So you have to go to the murder site.
Mostly cookbooks. Yeah, at least you won't have to worry about starving while you're staying here.
That's fair enough. Something feels fishy about it. Something feels fishy about a lot of things here. Unless it was a fish pun. Silent Raven. That's the place we need to be, isn't it? Alright. That's an interesting name. He still hasn't got enough of his ass to talk to his wife. You know, this guy, a little bit of a mess, really.
To think, in an instant, a man's life can be reduced to some scribbles on the filthy pavement.
Now's not the time to get poetic, Bill.
Okay.
What a mess.
Broken bottles, but we can't really guarantee that's anything related to that.
Securely fastened, unfortunately for you. If only there was some way to undo these bolts and remove the drain cover.
Yeah, I wonder if we can find something there.
Yesterday's rain has made the water level rise significantly. Is it just me, or does it look like there's something resting at the bottom of the drain?
If there is, I have no way of getting to it through the drain cover.
Alright. We have to find something to get this drain cover off then.
My, this grog shop.
That's the same guy that was at the coffee shop.
Even by chum standards. Best keep a low profile while you're in here, Miles. Doesn't look like cleaning up is high on the list of priorities around here.
There's no actual inventory really in this game. You have like clues and these kind of count as your inventory, but you can't like specifically use them. They'll just be used whenever you're like the context is appropriate for them.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Alright.
You know a man named Ronan Lespay?
Nah, never heard of him.
Okay.
He was killed here 4 nights ago. The man in this ferrotype.
Oh, that one. Well, I never saw him before that night, and I didn't talk to him. You with the police or something?
Yeah, it's a bit suspicious that
To help
you're
your
acting
sister
there.
find out what happened.
So are you done with the questions? Can I get you a drink or what?
Yeah, she's a shrewd businesswoman.
Very
We'll at
suspicious.
least have to give her that.
Were you working on election night?
Pal, I'm here most every night.
Okay.
So that's a yes, then?
Christ on a cracker. You ain't too bright, are you? Yes, I was here on election night.
Why'd it have to be mean?
There's no need to be rude about it, madam. Tell me what you know about the murder that took place outside on election night.
Listen, chum, do you know how busy we were that night? This was a polling place. We had gents coming in and out for hours, not to mention the regular clientele.
If there were lots of people
I was up to
around,
my ass in drink
how
orders
did no
and was
one
running the shift
notice what
all by
happened to that
myself.
guy?
Had to break up God knows how many fights.
That might
too.
explain it.
So you'll excuse me if I didn't exactly notice something that happened out on the street.
Did you at least hear
Okay.
the gunshot?
No, I didn't. You tried distinguishing a gunshot over a room full of rowdy voters. It ain't gonna happen.
What can you tell me about this place?
It's a bar. People come here to drink.
Interesting.
Sometimes people drink too much, and then they're sick all over.
I better get this down.
I get the honor of cleaning up the mess.
I see.
Sounds like you're not too pleased with your job.
I never said that. There may be rough days, but there's a lot worse I could be doing. Here, I get a place to sleep and a bit to eat and a few coins
That's
in my
a
pocket.
slightly
if
disturbing
customers
story,
are
Mystic.
pleased. And you are pleased, ain't you, sir?
Why in the world would you have a voting person in a bar? It's a good question, to be fair. Seems like a bit of a mistake.
You mentioned regular clientele. Who are they?
Oh, we get plenty of regulars in here. Too many to name.
Which of them were here on election night?
Let me think. I remember seeing 3 of the usual crowd. There was Darius, up to no good as always.
Cool, Darius.
Then there was Singing Tom.
Ah, Singing Tom.
He wasn't around for too long. And how could I forget old Cormac?
These sound
He'd
fake.
talk my ear off if I'd let him.
Sound like an interesting bunch of folks.
How could I forget Crimbly Jim?
Where might I find the landlord?
You won't find
Can we
him
romance Singing
He
Tom?
doesn't come around here more than once a month.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Darius?
Hey now, bucko. You've come in here asking me all these questions, but I ain't seen nothing from you. You want more information? You're gonna have to earn it.
Right.
Earn
Hey,
it?
Jim, then.
Coming right up.
Oh, I guess we're getting blitzed
Carried
again.
away now, Miles.
There you are. 1 gin. That'll be 2 shillings.
There's 3. Now
Wow.
then, about Darius.
Now that man is trouble. I've had to throw him out a few times.
Why do you say he's trouble?
His mind's affected by the poppy seed. He can be gentle as a kitten or fly into a rage at a moment's notice. When he gets rowdy, he gets chucked.
I see. Any idea where I might be able to find him?
Don't know why you'd want to find him, but I hear he spends his day at a smokehouse nearby.
Interesting.
I believe it's on Crisparkle Lane. Just look for the door with the oriental symbols above it.
Okay.
Could you describe him to me?
He's a rough-looking sort, about 55 years old, has a scar on his left cheek, grayish hair, medium build.
He sounds nice.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. What about Singing Tom?
Who is Singing Tom?
Ah, Tom. Not sure what his surname is, but he's in here about twice a week. We call him Singing Tom because he leads a church choir.
I
Is
see.
that right? Which church?
Oh, I haven't a clue. Never really cared to ask.
Well, there can't be too many around
Does
here.
he associate with any of the other regulars?
I've seen him talking with Darius a few times. They seem to be on friendly terms.
Uh-huh. And Cormac.
Tell me about Cormac.
He's in here most every night. Doesn't speak to many people, just me. And a right chatterbox he is, too. Between you and me, Cormac stinks. I can understand why he doesn't keep much company.
All right, so he needs a bath.
Aye, he's a sewer worker. Spends all his
That'll
day
do it, that'll
underground
do
in
it.
the muck, so he always reeks of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Any idea where specifically he works?
The sewers.
I believe he's at the treatment station, over near the ferry terminal.
Oh, lovely.
If this is going where I think it is, then I'm especially glad I can't smell anything anymore.
All right. Talk about yourself.
Have you worked here long?
13 years.
That's quite a
I
while.
see. Anything else you can tell me about yourself?
I ain't the friendly type.
Really?
Right.
Never would have.
Understood.
They would have been able to guess.
Any thoughts on the election?
Nah, couldn't care less, really. Doesn't matter who's in charge. My life ain't getting any better.
All right.
But it can certainly get worse with Leroy in office.
We'll see.
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's that. Her sprite is very angry. That is a very angry sprite. And she is tall. And that's the perspective. She's like huge. Hold on. Trying to walk into the same... Big lady. Alright. I guess we've gotten everything we can get from here right now, so let's have a look. There is the Opium Den. Oh boy! Opium Den. Well, this seems safe. I'm gonna save. Opium. Let's have a look. Actually, two dwarves on top of each other.
Yes? What do you want?
Of course.
I'm looking for a man named Darius. I believe he may be inside.
Yeah, I don't know anybody with that name. So if that's all you wanted, get lost.
Okay.
Might I come in, please?
This is private property, and I don't know you, so no.
Okay. I don't want to... okay. You know what? I'm not gonna.
Nothing. Never mind.
I'm not gonna blow my cover on that one yet.
Wasting my time.
All right. Jeez. Bye. Maybe we could find out the name of someone else that we can use to get in there. What's up, smelly man?
So this is what it's come to, eh? Braving the stench of human waste in hopes of finding a lead.
It is what it is.
Just make sure you stay away from the edge.
Begging your pardon, sir.
What? Who are you? What are you doing down here?
My name's Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator.
Nice raincoat.
I'm looking for a sewer worker.
I was thinking the machine looks a bit like a little face.
No further. But what is this about?
I just have a few questions for you.
All right. Cormac will answer them, but don't dally for too long. It can be dangerous down
Everybody
here
here
for
sucks
anyone
up.
who's not trained as Cormac is.
Is he talking in third person? All right.
You know a man named Ronan Lespay?
Cormac knows few men. People don't much like talking to a man.
Yeah, he talks in third person.
Can't really blame him for it. It's hard to get a stink off, so why bother even trying?
You didn't answer my question, though. Do you know Ronan Lespay or not?
Yeah, his face is a little bit strange, isn't it?
Cormac's got a better memory for faces than for names.
I have his portrait. Here, have a look.
Ah, yes. Cormac saw this fellow recently.
On election night?
That's right. He come into the bar, voted, went out. Looked drunk to Cormac, but then everyone at that place usually is.
It is a bar, so it does make sense.
Do you frequent a pub called the Silent Raven?
Yes. The Raven is where Cormac goes to forget about the day's work. The barmaid, Nicole, she's a good sort. We likes talking about the ponies down at the track. Nicky loves her some racing. She gives Cormac drinks for cheap in exchange for odd jobs. Nice to have your own personal sewer man, I suppose. She's really the only one Cormac talks to. There's a few others Cormac sees often, but Cormac hasn't spoken with them.
Cripes. This guy goes on, doesn't he?
I was thinking, I just talk quite a bit.
You were warned.
Murder.
Do you know anything about the murder that took place outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Ah, yes. The commotion out in the alleyway.
That's right. Did you see or hear anything?
It was a touch noisy that night, what with all the election stuff happening, but Cormac remembers the sound of the gun. One shot, and then shouting and hollering.
One
from
shot,
the bar.
one kill.
A few people run outside
Widowmaker,
to look
obviously.
at what happened, but Cormac just stayed in his seat and finished his whiskey.
So you didn't
Priorities.
see
Priorities.
or who shot
This
him?
guy's got them.
Keeps to himself, Cormac does. Makes life easier that way.
Could he be any more unhelpful? Actually, it's
Shut up,
probably
one
best not to
opportunity.
fight.
Alright.
Is it difficult being a sewer worker?
Tell me about yourself, Cormac.
Nah, it's a dream. Especially since they introduced all these steam tech treatments and purification whatsits. The only thing Cormac's got to do is check the little dial never goes into the red on old Belinda.
Belinda?
Aye, the purifier.
Ah.
She's a real special lady who's made Cormac's life so much
I think you need to get out more,
Cormac
Cormac.
makes sure to thank her each and every day.
Wonderful.
How
talking
how
to
do
a
you
lunatic.
thank Belinda
Wasn't
then?
so easy a few years ago. Back then it was tapping on pipes.
We may die here.
Tapping on pipes?
To make sure they was flowing fine and not
Yeah,
blocked.
he is definitely
Cormac would
having
take his
relations
little
with the
hammer
machine.
and tap on the pipes to make sure they was ringing fine. You can imagine what that was like.
Yeah, I
Tap,
guess.
Tap,
Yep.
tap. Ring, ring, ring. All day, up and down, over and over. The tapping stopped, but the ringing never left. Still hears it to this day, Cormac does.
Uh-huh. You could say who's tapping that. Very clever.
Do you have any opinions regarding the election?
Cormac hears lots of things about Atwood, but he's the one what's got this new machinery.
I was thinking
put
he
into
might
the
be an
sewer
Atwood man.
system. There's still a job for Cormac, so all that talk about being replaced by machines is just talk, for now. But Leroy says he wants to give the workers their fair chance, so Cormac can't argue with that. What about you?
I would have preferred Atwood stay in office myself.
Bah, they's all the same in the end. One way or another. No point worrying, says old Cormac.
You're probably right, Cormac.
Would you be able to remove the cover of a storm drain?
Yes, of course, sir. Cormac's got the right tool
Oh.
for the job. Just a few twists from old Mary here, and any drain will open up like a Christmas rose.
Excellent. Would you be able to open the storm drain outside the Silent Raven?
Suppose so, yes. But Cormac ain't allowed to just open up drains as he sees fit.
Okay.
What do you want this drain open for?
There's evidence down there.
I believe there's a vital piece of evidence at the bottom of the drain.
You don't say.
It's quite true. It may even help me solve a murder.
Well then, in that case, Cormac will get the drain open for you.
Very good.
Come on, there's not a moment to lose.
Well.
This it then?
Yep.
That's the one.
Right, won't be a moment.
All right then,
There
let's
we
go.
are.
Thank you for your help, Cormac.
Not a problem. Now, if you don't mind, Cormac's just going to pop inside for a quick pint.
How come the crazy one is also the most helpful so far? It just seems to happen that way, doesn't it? Yeah, Cormac's alright. Decent guy.
Detective work is a dirty job, but someone has to do it. Don't forget to roll up your sleeve.
I really hope there's something down there.
Ooh, look at that rotoscope.
This is almost as bad as the time I had to search for that stolen necklace in a pile of horse manure.
I'm really glad I didn't draw the short straw in that case.
Ooh.
Well,
look at
how about
that.
Wish the police had found this so I wouldn't have to carry it around.
We found a gun. Well, that's certainly an important detail, isn't it? Interesting. Now you got your fingerprint on it, though. Yeah, but they didn't really have fingerprint technology back then, so... I say back then. It is alternate history. I don't think they have fingerprint technology. Either way. Let's try going to the Morgan Bakery.
All right, Mr. Chavez. The cake and muffins come to a total of 6 crowns, 10 shillings.
There you are, Mrs. Morgan. And thank you again. Barbara is going to love this.
My pleasure. Enjoy.
All right, then. He
Pardon me, sir.
Doesn't seem to be carrying really anything, does he? Just stuffed it in his pockets.
I'm sure Barbara will enjoy them, the cow.
Wow.
Oh, Mr. Fordham. Welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Morgan.
She seems nice.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
Wow, I like her hat. She looks cool.
What can you tell me about your brother?
Ronan was the best brother anyone could have asked for. He took care of me after our parents died. Carriage accident. I was only 9 and he was 13.
That's curious.
Ronan went out and found work and managed to support the both of us. He was just a child himself, but he kept us out of the gutter. Or worse, the workhouse.
How did you hear of his death?
Ronan comes by to visit me every day after he finishes work. When he didn't come for 2 days in a row, I got worried. I went to his apartment, but he wasn't there. So I made a report to the police. Yesterday, they contacted me and asked me to come to the mortuary.
I'm terribly sorry for your loss, Mrs. Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham. Please, find whoever did this to him Ronan deserved so much better.
Oh wow, got quite a bit to ask about.
What do you know about your brother's murder?
Only what the police told me. He was shot at close range outside that pub in the Chum.
Yep.
Nothing was missing, and his wallet had money in it, so they said it wasn't a robbery.
Okay.
I didn't recognize the clothes he was wearing. I had never seen them before, and they were far too big for him. I still can't believe he's gone. He was the only family I had left.
Dr. Edwards at the mortuary might be able to give us some more detailed information. The only thing we'll get out of this one is more tears.
Okay, but we still can't ask more, right?
What sort of life did Ronan lead?
You know, just normal. He'd go to work,
I guess.
come visit me afterwards, and go home. He didn't have much of a social life. At least he never mentioned any friends to me. I always hoped Ronan would meet a nice girl to settle down with, but he was so shy, you know.
Where did Ronan work?
At the Grips Home taxidermy shop in
Oh
Gascon.
boy, taxidermy.
I always thought it was rather macabre work, but he enjoyed it. Bit lonely, though.
There's another one.
Can you give me the address of Ronan's apartment?
It's at 1172 Bushmill Street. I have a spare key.
Wonderful.
That would be most helpful. Thank you.
We're getting all sorts of places to visit now.
My husband Gerald and I have had it for almost 10 years.
Is it just the two of you? Do you have any children?
Alas, no. Some extra hands would be most welcome in the kitchen, but we haven't yet been blessed. It's such a shame that Ronan never got to be an uncle.
All right.
What are your thoughts on the outcome of the election?
Oh, I haven't given it much thought, to be honest. It hardly seems to matter now.
Yes, of course. My apologies for bringing it up. Those are all the questions I have for now.
What a secrets could be.
All right,
Yeah, you might
Mr.
be right,
Fordham.
Walken. Yeah.
Those look nice, but given the choice, I'll always side with pie over cake.
I'm with you on that one, Bill. Pie is definitely better than cake. In my opinion. I'm a pie guy. Oh, teas. Love a good tea.
A bunch of assorted... A very wise man, one...
Okay. Alright, you know what? Let's go explore these other places. Police station. I think that's a pretty good place to start. Let's go... Ron's apartment, police station, taxidermy shop. I would say let's visit his apartment. Not apartment, sorry. Visit the mortuary first.
I was beginning to wonder when you'd show
Blah.
up.
Well, wonder no longer. I'm here and I need to see Dr. Edwards.
Right. You know the way. Snelling isn't in today, so you're all clear.
Wonderful.
Well, that's a relief. Thanks, Upton.
You've had them both because you lost control of your life. That's also a mood, to be fair. Ah, hello.
Dr. Edwards'
You look
lab
very
is always
steampunk.
a fascinating place to learn about death.
Ooh, look at that.
A bit less
skull.
so now that I'm
And a
quite the
brain.
expert.
This guy seems interesting.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything, Edwards.
Ah, Fordham. Always a pleasure.
Have you got time for some questions?
Of course.
All right.
So what can you tell me about Ronan Lespay?
Caucasian male, approximately 27 years old. Died of blood loss as a result of being shot at close
Well, that
range.
adds up.
He was brought in 4 nights ago. I performed the postmortem the following day. After that, his next of kin was contacted. I believe his sister came to identify the body.
Any personal opinions on what might have happened?
Well, the fact he was shot at such a close range would suggest it was done by someone he knew. And robbery doesn't appear to be a motive, since his wallet was found on the body with money in it. Beyond that, your guess is as good as mine.
Better, I hope.
Yeah.
Did the postmortem reveal anything?
Okay, no problem, O'Neill. Thanks for coming along.
Mr. Lespay was extremely inebriated when the shooting took place. There was enough alcohol in his blood to presume he had been drinking for hours before his death.
Right.
I also managed to remove the bullet from his heart. It's a .36 caliber lead ball, standard revolver shot. It shouldn't be too hard to match to a weapon, provided you can find
I
it.
found it.
Did you notice anything unusual about the clothes Mr. Lespay was wearing?
Unusual? Not really. They seemed a bit big for him, but that's all.
His sister seemed convinced that they didn't belong to him.
That's a distinct possibility, but I couldn't say for sure. He could have just been a sloppy dresser.
Okay.
I found this pistol at the scene of the Lespay crime. Did you take a look and see if it was used to murder him?
It's all slimy. Where was it?
Sitting
you
at
know,
the bottom of a storm drain.
in the sewers.
Oh, I suppose that's not as exciting as finding it inside someone's intestines.
No,
Did I ever
but
tell
why?
you about that post-mortem, by the way?
Please don't.
No. I certainly don't want to hear about it now. How long will it take you to analyze that pistol?
I should have something conclusive within the hour, if you don't mind waiting.
Sure.
No, it'll give me some time to gather my thoughts.
Right. I've concluded my analysis, and this gun was definitely used to shoot Mr. Lespay.
Great.
The bullet I removed from his body is a perfect match.
Thank you, Edwards. That is extremely helpful.
There's one more thing. I cleaned off some of the muck and found the initials JB etched into the handle.
JB.
Interesting.
My expertise with guns is purely forensic, so I can't determine if this is the gun's maker or the initials of its owner. That's going to have to be your job.
Okay.
Thank you, Edwards. Help is always
I
appreciated.
have to work that one out then.
How's the coroner business?
Things have been pretty dead around here lately.
Don't quit your day job, Edwards.
Oh, Edwards. You're a card.
What are your thoughts on the election?
There was an election?
I think our friend Edwards needs to get out a bit more.
I'll be going now, Edwards.
I like this guy.
Take care, Fordham. And remember, not everyone gets to leave the morgue alive. So consider yourself lucky that you can.
Fair enough.
I remember when Edwards used to keep his collection of preserved reproductive organs
Oh,
on
God.
the shelf. He must be getting soft in his old age.
God.
Or perhaps that's exactly what happened to his collection.
Oh, no.
It looks rather fresh. There's a plaque at the base of the jar that says H. Putnam. Well, at least he died with a smile on his face. Sort of.
Is this game like implying that this guy had like a whole bunch of like pickled penises on his shelf? You're a weird guy. I'm just gonna leave. How do you put up with that guy? Oof.
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly. What's on your mind?
Pickled pickles. Yep.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about Ronan Lespay, would you?
Probably nothing more than you already know. His body is in the mortuary, and the reason for
been
his murder
pickling
is
dicks.
unknown. I suggest you speak with Dr. Edwards.
I'm guessing.
I have to distance myself
Nope.
completely from this one. So when you figure it out, you'll need to speak directly to Mrs. Morgan.
Uh-huh.
I can still try and help you if there's something specific giving you trouble, though.
How are things with you?
Better than last week, but plenty of feathers still ruffled around here.
What happened?
You have to ask. Snelling was not happy with you turning up at the Latham crime scene.
Ah.
It's a right inquisition around here. Snelling going around to interrogate everyone, trying to ferret out a leak.
So he suspects.
Oh, did you
I'm
not hear
afraid
about the
so.
Cyberpunk
I managed to calm
2077
him down
news?
some and divert suspicion.
It's
He thinks someone on the
certainly a
force
thing.
is speaking to the Gazette, not to you directly.
Well, that's some kind of relief. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Oh, don't worry about me. Well, maybe worry about me a little.
That was one hell of an election, wasn't it?
That it was. I don't know how he managed it, but I'm glad Leroy won.
Okay.
I can't say I agree, but I'm not really surprised. Leroy may have started as something of a dark horse, but his campaign had been gaining a lot of steam leading up to the election. Pun not intended.
Yes, well, it's the Steam Tech issue that clinched it. When something like the Ligeia happens, people start to wake up and wonder if we really want contraptions like that in our lives.
You have to admit, he was playing up on people's fears. Not exactly the most honorable way of getting into office.
Fordham, since when have politics ever been honorable?
Would you happen to have any information on the opium den in Chumley?
I know there is one, but that's about it. The department doesn't have the manpower to bother keeping files on that sort of establishment.
Fair
So
enough.
no idea how one might get inside.
I'm afraid not. Those places are very hush-hush about their activities. They're almost like exclusive high society clubs in their own seedy way.
Interesting observation. I think I'll keep that in mind. I'll let you get back to work.
And you'd better do the same.
All right then. Let's go to his apartment. Ooh,
Quite
interesting
the collection of
collection.
exotic items in
Yeah.
here. Ronan appears to be a seasoned world traveler.
Curious.
Or at least knows someone who is.
Locked, naturally.
Of course.
This one is scarier than the other masks. Wait a moment. I think I saw something shiny in the back of the mouth.
Is it the key?
How about that? A perfect hiding place for a key.
Not too perfect, because I found it.
Now to find out what Mr. Lespay finds so precious. Looks like you found Ronan's journal. Perhaps this will be able to give us some more insight into what he was up to before he died.
Read a random entry.
Let's see. November 9th, 1843. I have an uneasy feeling of dread today.
Well, that's fun.
Last night I had a frightening dream where fire rained from the sky and people were afflicted with an awful disease.
Damn.
I'm just going to focus on my work today. Perhaps the feeling will pass.
It's rough.
October 21st, 1843. The air is growing cold and is reminding me that I need to purchase a new pair of boots for the winter. I don't think this entry will be of much
Yeah, it
interest.
just seems pretty mundane.
November 9th, last night.
That's actually all it is. Okay. Whoa! Thank you for the raid, Summer B 76. Raiding with a party 5. How's it going, everybody?
It's empty. Too bad.
Ooh, letter.
A letter from someone called Jimbo?
Jimbo. Roland, next week will be a year since we met. I can honestly say my life has changed for the better in every possible way, and I will always hold July 8th as a special day in my heart. Larry Red? Were you playing a Larry game? Or is it... Yeah, I see Legends of Larry there. Larry Laffer. Is that what you were playing? If so, which one on the series? I can't wait to see you again, Jimbo. Who is this Jimbo, then?
They appear to be a pair of letters from Ronan's landlord.
I see. Let's have a look. Ronan, with regards to your request for an extension to pay this month's rent, I'll gladly give you until next month. You have always been a reliable tenant that was paid on time, so don't be concerned. I hope you resolve your issues. September 3rd. Ronan, I understand we all go through financial difficulties, but I'm afraid I can't extend my generosity beyond the end of the 2 months. Please have the rent ready by then, or I'll have no choice but to seek legal action against you. This is Danforth. Well, that's definitely a motive for somebody to do it, but I don't know if it was. Yeah, that seems too easy. Been doing your annual LSL series stream since April. Finished 6 just now. Nice. I need to actually play the Legends of Larry games at some point. I've just never really gotten into it. I've got them. I've got all of them. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and go through them. Okay.
This one appears to be from Emily.
Okay. Ronan, Gerald and I will be celebrating the new year and would like to invite you to spend it with us. Please feel free to bring along any guests you'd like, especially any lady friends you might have. All my love, Emily. Okay.
Ooh, this teacup could use a washing. I'd be surprised if it isn't permanently stuck to the desk. A model of the SS Joondalup. Looks like a merchant vessel to me.
I see.
Ronan's book collection mostly consists of cheap pulp adventure novels, but this top shelf looks interesting.
So we've got exotic fauna of Africa, black rhinoceros, elephant. I don't know if that'll be relevant. Not going to read the journal again. I'm going to read some dates. Oh, I could actually do that. Yeah, you're right. I'll jump back into that in a second. Australia. Opium use. I see.
It's in another language, but it appears to be a Bible.
An unmarked
no title,
book.
And it appears to be blank. I wonder if Ronan just kept empty books on his shelf to appear well read.
Okay. Actually, let's have a look at that again then. Right. Entry from July 8th.
There are 2 entries, one from this year and one from last.
So, start with last year's.
July 8th, 1843. I've decided I need to get out more, so I'm going to a club in Gascon tonight. Stuffing animals has taken its toll, and I need to talk to someone who isn't Emily or my co-workers. Gerald told me about a place called the Crimson Cat. I'll try it, and if I don't enjoy myself, I'll just come home. Now for this year's entry. July 8th, 1844. Today is our 1-year anniversary. We're going to meet at the Cat again. I love him, but I wish he wasn't so attached to that place. Emily is so nosy, I worry that she might follow me and discover the truth about Jimbo. If we moved around, I wouldn't worry, but with him, it's always the Crimson Cat. I really shouldn't complain, though. What we have is something truly special.
They definitely have a relationship.
Well, it seems that our best hope of finding this Jimbo character is to visit the Crimson Cat.
Okay, let's find a Jimbo. Bed?
Ronan wasn't too concerned with comfort, apparently. This is hardly bigger than a bunk at sea. Ronan wasn't. Just looking at this painting is making me feel seasick.
Alright. Let's go find Ronan's boyfriend then. Or I suppose ex-boyfriend, unfortunately.
Ah, the Crimson Cat. One of my favorite underground clubs. Ooh, I spent some wild nights here. Which reminds me, I wonder if Stefan is still working the bar these days.
Sailor, and I can't talk to this individual.
Beg your pardon. Your name wouldn't happen to be Jimbo, would it?
Yeah? Who's asking?
Miles Fordham, private investigator.
Can a guy enjoy his shore leave without being harassed by the law? I've done nothing wrong.
I didn't say you had, and I'm most certainly not the law. I just want to ask you a few questions.
All right, fine.
All right.
You know Ronan Spey?
I knew him, yeah.
Knew him?
He and I haven't spoken recently. In about a month, actually. Things didn't go so well last time.
How do you mean?
Let's just say we didn't part on the best of terms.
Ah, they
He
broke
made it
up.
very clear that he didn't want to speak to me again.
I see.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered?
What? No, when? What happened?
He was shot outside a tavern in Chumley 4 nights ago.
Chumley? What was he doing there?
I was hoping perhaps you could tell me.
I honestly don't know. Ronan hardly went out, and he especially never crossed the river.
Why was that?
I think he was just too scared of the world to go out and see it for himself. He was happy enough reading about it in his books or collecting things I brought him back from my travels. Honestly, that's what I liked most about him. He was just an average, boring man. It was just the sort of balance I needed in my life.
That's pretty much the exact same reason I always enjoyed working with you, Miles.
You and Ronan had a special relationship, didn't you?
Mr. Fordham, we're in an underground club. You don't have to tap dance around it. Yes, Ronan and I were a couple. At least up until last month.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
It seems a bit more accepted, yeah, Tenwin. I
Ronan thought
would say
had
so.
been seeing someone else. He was extremely jealous. I tried to explain that he had it all wrong, but he wouldn't hear me out. I was going to give him some time to cool off, but, well, that's not going to happen now, is it?
If it's any consolation, I found a letter you wrote him, which he still kept in his desk.
Damn. Thank you for telling me that.
And yet people are still racist. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of complex things going on with the sort of social factors.
Where does the name Jimbo come from?
It's just a nickname. My real name's James Bowcroft.
And what is it you
Is
do?
that so,
I'm a sailor.
JB?
I thought you detective types are supposed to be extra observant. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what my occupation was just by looking at my fingernails or something?
I mean...
Sorry to disappoint. Perceptiveness
Definitely
is
not accepted
important
if
in
he
my
has to
line
hang
of
out in an
work,
underground
but
club.
I'm also just a man.
That's also a factor, yeah,
Jimbo
that's true.
Jimbo has been reading too many of those detective stories in Brentwell.
It makes me wonder, though, like, what, like, the sort of... Perhaps not, like... It's hard to say. I don't know.
Do you have any opinions about the recent election?
Not really. I'm usually way at sea, so I don't keep up with politics. The sea's got her own laws.
Fair dues?
Anyway, I can't vote, so it's really none of my concern.
That's...
But you're still affected by the decisions the Prime Minister makes.
Not very fair, is it, Mr. Fordham?
No, I suppose it isn't.
Because someone were framing him with a weapon, I wonder.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't think he seems necessarily like the type that would kill him, but you never know. I mean, the pistol has JB etched on it.
Call me old-fashioned, but I've always felt the piano.
Oh,
should
it's
be
an automatically
played by
playing piano,
actual
isn't it?
human.
I didn't even register
These
that.
automated ones just don't have any soul. This place has been around for quite some time. That well-dressed feline is Red, the official mascot.
It also, you know, Bill apparently knew this place as well, so... I mean, we already knew Bill was gay, but that just is an extra layer of confirmation on that.
Seagrave's Stasholine, high-quality mustache wax. You know, I always wondered what you'd look like with a mustache. Attention customers. Use of Dr. Tennyson's vigor pills while under the influence of alcohol may cause loss of consciousness.
I could see that happening, yeah.
It's nice to see this establishment looking out for its patrons.
Alright, I guess we're done here then. Taxidermy shop is somewhere we need to be, actually. Because this is where he worked. Oh,
Hello,
God.
welcome
What
to
is
the
with that
Gripzone
face?
Taxidermy Shop.
Look at
Please
that.
Let me know if I can be of service.
Jesus. That is not a good looking mountain head. What is that?
Is that supposed to be a lion?
Oh my god. The delivery on that was great.
I wonder how many people it took to bring down this brute. There's a small button on the base.
Oh, let's push the button. Oh, wow.
Just when I thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next?
Animatronic gorilla.
Reminds me of the one in the Dupre house, except that one actually looked alive. There's a small button on the base.
Push the button.
Welcome to the Gripzone Taxidermy Shop. Please enjoy our displays and be sure to consider us for all your
Oh my
taxidermy
god.
needs.
I love
Just
it.
a reminder, we stuff animals only.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Okay.
I was wondering if you might answer some questions for me.
Of course. What can I help you with?
He looks very pale. He is very pale. Wow. Okay.
I was told Ronan Lespay works here. Do you know him?
Ronan? Yes, of course. That is to say, I know he works here. I haven't had
Does
much
look a bit like
interaction
Tilda
with
Swinton,
him.
yeah.
He mostly keeps to himself.
Does he have an office or workspace I might have a look at?
Now, wait just a minute. Why would I let some random stranger off the street in to look at an employee's workspace?
Because I'm a private investigator and I'm trying to get some information.
Well, even if that is the case, I'm afraid you're out of luck.
Is that so?
Ronan does have a workspace, but it's completely bare. He doesn't keep anything here.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered 4 nights ago?
I had no idea. That's awful. What happened?
That's what I'm currently trying to find out. Do you know if Ronan had any enemies? Anyone who might want to do him harm?
No. As I said, I didn't speak with him much, or know much about him. But now that I think about it, I did notice a strange man waiting around outside the shop a few days ago.
Oh, do tell.
Tell me about this strange man you saw.
At the time, I didn't think much of him. But the more I recall, the more I realize he was being very suspicious.
What did he do?
He just stood outside across the street, but he seemed to be focusing on the building. It was as though he was waiting for someone.
Do you remember what this man looked like?
I didn't get a very good look at him, but I do remember some things.
Go on.
He was tall and had a heavy build.
Right.
Like a boxer or a dock worker.
Gotcha.
He had a beard, I think. Or mutton chops at the very least. And as far as I can recall, he was wearing all black. He also had on some kind of cap. I'm sorry I can't
That's
give you
actually a
better
pretty good description.
But that's all I was able to distinguish.
Quite a
My
bit of
eyesight isn't very
information.
good, I'm afraid.
It'll have to do. Thank you for your help.
Could it be Jimbo?
Anything you can tell me about the shop?
Plenty. This is New Britannia's most sophisticated taxidermy shop. Unlike other taxidermists, we work with modern technology to get results they could only dream of.
What does that mean exactly?
Using steam tech, we are able to create the illusion of life in these beasts. Just take a look at our floor samples. The parrot and gorilla are 2 of our finest
Yeah, they're
works.
pretty
they
good.
really speak for themselves.
The parrot definitely does.
The parrot does,
Yeah.
at least. I think it would frighten our customers if the gorilla did too.
No, you should make the
And
gorilla
once
speak.
ethericity is harnessed as a viable source of energy, we'll get even better results.
This guy is way too excited about bringing dead things back to life.
Yes. Fascinating. Moving on. So how did you get this job?
Oh, it isn't a terribly exciting story, I'm afraid. I just saw an ad in the Gazette for a clerk position.
Fair enough.
I never expected to learn so much about taxidermy.
I'm sure he's amazing conversation at parties.
You should learn a bit about getting a tan as well.
Any thoughts on the recent election?
I'd really rather not talk about it. I don't know how the people of this country could put someone like Hart Leroy in charge.
I know what you mean. Leroy may be a champion of the common man, but Atwood's vision for the future is more important right now.
I couldn't agree more. Leroy wants to forsake all the technological advances of the last decade and take us back to the Dark Ages. Next thing you know, he'll be bringing slavery back.
Oh, wow.
I doubt he'd go to such extremes.
Perhaps we should drop the subject. I get a bit passionate when it comes to these sorts of things.
Let's kill the thing, then stuff it,
Thank
and
you
make
for
it seem
your
like it's alive. I know.
help. Here to
it's-
serve.
Okay.
That leads into a room with even more dead things. It's such a shame we haven't
That's
the time
such
to
a
stick
shame.
around and explore.
Such a shame.
Exotic dead fauna from every other continent. You never even need to leave Vespuccia.
I'm still distracted by that line. It's the worst. Oh my god. I think we need to try and get into that opium den now. I'll just save over this actually. See if there's anything else we can.
What do you want?
How did you know it was me?
I was told this was the place to come if I wanted to ride the dragon.
Oh ho.
Well, why didn't you say so? Please, come in.
Alright. Time to ride the dragon, I guess.
She's not gonna be much help right now. Best not to bother her.
Uh-huh. Ah, Darius. What's up, man?
Excuse me, I'm looking for a man by the name of Darius.
Ride the dragon, you say?
Look no further. Welcome, friend. Sit. Join me.
I'll stand, if that's all right. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
I like the lighting effects on
Questions
that
are the path
on here
of
actually. That's
enlightenment.
cool.
Answers fly by as
Did the
birds
last
on
door
the
also have an
breeze.
opium den? It did,
What
yeah.
will a caged bird sing? That is the true question.
Wonderful.
Oh.
He's as high as a kite. This is gonna be worse than pulling teeth.
He has some interesting sideburns there. I wonder.
Are you familiar with a man named Ronan Le Spay?
I know many men. Some old, some young, some rich, some poor. Some I know by name, some by face. But this man you speak of, this Ronan,
Okay.
he is unfamiliar to me.
Just look at the
I have a
picture.
ferrotype. Do you recognize him?
Forgive me, but my eyes are blurry. I cannot make out his features.
Well, he's useless, isn't he?
What accent is that?
There's
I
no way
think
to
it's an
snap
attempt at a
like
Scottish
there was with
accent.
Dupre's kid.
I think it's a Scottish accent from someone who's not Scottish. Because he said canny. That's like a Scottish thing. I think it's trying to be Scottish, and sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I can hear that, and then at other times I'm like, ooh, you know, yeah. Mixed with racist Chinese, I can hear that a little bit as well, yeah.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Was it a murder?
It was. A man was shot in cold blood.
That would explain the commotion, as well as the sound.
So you heard the gunshot?
I did. I thought it might have been one of the voting machines making the noise.
Right.
But then there were shouts, and people began to run.
Did you see or hear anything before you heard the gunshot?
I seem to remember hearing a man shouting a name.
A name?
Yes. It sounded like Priscilla.
Well, how about
Priscilla.
that? He's managed to be of some use after all.
A very
Assuming he's telling the
Campbell's
truth, of course.
And does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Afraid not, young man.
Right, Priscilla.
What can you tell me about the Silent Raven?
Ah, the Raven. My home away from home.
I would have thought that was this place. Unless this one is just the home.
Do you have many friends there? People you speak with often?
Yes, friends. I call them friends anyway, but really, what is a friend?
Are we getting philosophical?
Someone who drinks with you? Someone who shares secrets with you? Are those friends? My father used to tell me that the only two friends you had were your mother and the crown in your pocket. Well, both of those are gone now. So what does that mean for me?
I don't know, sir. I'm just asking about people you speak to at the Raven.
The barmaid, Nicole,
Mhm.
she gets mad at me sometimes when I break things. But she's all right.
Did I ever watch the children's game show Rave? I don't know one called Rave. Did you mean Raven? Ah, Raven, yes. I did watch that one. And now that you mention it, he does sound a bit like the guy who, the host of that. Singing Tom.
Have you ever conversed with a patron called Singing Tom?
Singing Tom? You mean old Tom Puffin?
Okay, yeah, he's definitely going between Scottish and
He was called
Irish.
Singing Tom and was a regular at the Silent Raven.
That's the man. I see him in here all the time.
In here? Not just at the Raven?
It's definitely an aesthetic.
Tom is a
Raven was a
child
great
of the
show.
Poppy, just as I am. He truly understands the world as it is.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Yes, he's the choir master at St. Denis Cathedral. That's where he spends his time when he's not here.
You mean to tell me we have to talk to another one of these loonies? Wonderful.
Lovely. Fantastic.
Do you often come to this establishment, Darius?
Oh, yes. This place is better than any doctor or hospital.
I don't know about
It
that.
has exactly the cure I need.
Cure? For what?
I'm ill, sir. Just as you are. Just as we all are.
Oh my god.
Infected by a terrible disease known as life.
You pretentious
Speak
git.
for yourself.
Spend a few hours in here with the intoxicating nectar of the poppy, and you'll find nothing can defeat you.
I mean, I'll ask him about the election, but I'm pretty sure that he won't know anything.
So did you manage to get out of here and vote?
Please don't bother me with such trivial matters. Why should I care who leads the government? As long as they don't outlaw places like this, they can do whatever they please.
Is this guy ignorant or just apathetic? Yeah, well, I don't know, and I don't care.
Haha, that's funny. God damn it, Bill.
I was wondering if you could tell me whether you saw a certain man at the Raven on election night. He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Lots of people like that go to the Raven. I see loads of them every night. But now that you mention it, I do remember someone like that. He was a strange one.
Go on.
How so?
I remember one of the times he came in, he was adjusting his hat. I could have sworn when he took it off for just a moment, his hair was bright red.
How is that strange, exactly?
Because his beard was jet black. It was the oddest thing I'd seen.
Well, that is unusual.
It was the oddest thing I'd seen. Until his beard slid halfway down his face.
I see. Well, thank you for the information.
Okay.
Wonderful. This testimony is about as useful as a hole in the head. Then again, there might be something to it.
Fake beard, yeah.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, young man. May you find peace and happiness.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, at least he gave us some useful information, but that guy is just, ooh. Ooh, boy. So we've got St. Denis Cathedral. Priscilla, that's something we've got. We've got the dock worker, tall, large build, like a boxer. The dock worker had a beard or mutton chops, dressed in all black, wore a cap, has red hair. Seems like it might be a fake beard as well. Oh, Crystal Maze! You gotta love the Crystal Maze. Alright, let's go and talk to Singing Tom then. Hello, Singing Tom Puffin. Oh, I love this cathedral. This is really pretty, actually.
Are you Tom Puffin?
Thought I preferred Mangel Maze. Oh, I love Mangel Maze.
How may I help you? Miles Fordham, private investigator.
Mangel Maze is the best maze.
Questions? Have I done something wrong?
No, Mr. Puffin. I simply believe you may have some information that I need.
Very well, then.
Wow, that certainly is a hairdo. What is going on there? That is something. And like the facial hair on the side. What is going on? Tom Puffin, mate.
What were you doing on election night, Mr. Puffin?
Election night? That was ages ago, wasn't it?
It was 4 days ago.
It was 4 nights ago, to be precise.
Oh, you have to understand. I have trouble recalling what
He looks like the aliens meme guy. He does.
what happened 4 nights ago.
Well, isn't that convenient?
That's how much chops. A quarter pound of steaks.
Quite important.
Well, I know I voted at my local polling place, the Silent Raven. And then, I'm not sure, actually.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven?
Murder?
Yes, a man was shot. Did you see or hear anything?
Don't know if he did.
I don't remember. I don't think so, no.
Bit
How long were you at
suspicious.
the Raven that evening?
Not very long, I don't think. I went, voted, stayed for a drink, and then I left.
You recall what you did the rest of the evening?
Not specifically. I probably went home and went to bed, like I always do.
Okay.
Do you recognize the man in this photo?
Is that? No. No, never mind.
What is it?
Well, for a moment, I thought it was someone else, but I was clearly mistaken.
So you don't recognize this person then?
Afraid not.
You are
Who is
acting
he?
rather
His name is,
suspicious.
Or rather was, Ronan Lespay.
What? Is he dead?
He is. I'm trying to find out who killed him.
Well, I hope you find your man, Mr. Fordham.
Are you in the habit of using opium, Mr. Puffin?
What? Why would you think that?
I met your friend Darius. He told me you share a pastime.
All right, yes, I do enjoy a visit to the opium den from time to time.
I couldn't tell.
From time to time? More like morning, noon, and night.
Yeah.
Have you found the drug has had any adverse effects? Memory loss, for example.
I admit I'm not quite as quick as I used to be, but without it, I'm in constant pain.
Okay.
Is that right?
I fell off a horse when I was 15, and ever since then, my back's not been right. The doctors haven't been able to help. Poppy is my only comfort. I wish there were another way.
It might be worth seeking a more professional opinion about the effects of opium.
Maybe. Maybe we can visit the morgue. That guy there might know a bit about that.
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Priscilla?
His hair got into a terrible accident when he fell. It never recovered.
The name has come up in my investigation. Is it someone you're acquainted with?
No, it isn't. I don't know anyone by that name.
You certainly seem concerned about her, though.
Yeah, this guy... There's something that this guy's not telling us.
How did you become choir master of this church?
Oh, well, I studied music at the University of New Britannia. Once I completed my studies, I began writing symphonies in hopes of securing a patron, but I had no luck. So I decided to focus on choral compositions. I said a few pieces to the bishop, and he offered me the position.
I see.
And you enjoy it?
Oh, yes, sir, immensely. I'm able to continue composing songs for our choir, as well as teach music to our young members. I take my church duties very seriously.
Of course you do.
What else do you do besides lead the choir?
Just a few things here and there, making sure the aisles and the pews are clean, tending to the prayer candles, and that sort of thing.
Fun.
So, what do you think of the election results?
All right, the election. Who won?
Leroy. He beat Atwood by a significant margin.
Oh, I suppose that's good. I think I may have voted for him, but I'm not sure.
I'll let you resume your practicing, Mr. Puffin.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Okay, you too, buddy. All right, then.
This looks like the nicer of the two angels.
What's wrong with this one?
This angel looks like it would throw its lamp at you as soon as you turned your back on it.
Fair enough.
Now this is one intriguing chest. If only we could search it without arousing any suspicions.
I think we're going to have to search that chest at some point. I might have to do that later, though. What else can we do? Okay, so we've got... Didn't really get anything out of that, did we? That's the only goal we've got at the moment as well. I wonder if we can talk about finding one called Priscilla, actually. Do you know a Priscilla?
I have a few more questions for you.
All right, fine.
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Yes, that's my ship, the SS Priscilla.
I see. Did Ronan know about it?
Of course. He always used to ask me to bring him back some exotic souvenir.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Well, that's curious. The Priscilla's the ship. I have a feeling we want to try and get into that.
You won't be much more help right now.
Okay.
Prayer candles? People think lighting one of these is gonna solve their problems. If only it were that easy.
I wonder why we can inspect
Also,
this
what
screen.
happens if they go out? Does that mean your prayer gets canceled?
Let's find out.
Shh. What? It's an important question. The more I think about it, the more I want to test my theory about prayers being canceled if the candles go out.
Let's do it. Let's blow them all out. Cancel all these prayers. No prayers for anybody.
Well, that's all of them. Hope you made a wish.
Could I have another moment of your time, Mr. Puffin?
Yes, I suppose so.
It seems that all the prayer candles have gone out.
Have they? Blast, I keep saying there's a draft, but no.
I had a feeling this was going to be the solution, actually.
Excuse me for a moment, won't you?
It's a classic sabotage something to distract them puzzle. You get quite a few of those in Gabriel Knight, actually.
Let's hope this chest hasn't got squeaky hinges.
Dearest Ned, your last letter made me giggle with delight. I just cannot stop dreaming of the day we can finally make our dreams come true and live together as man and wife. I think it would be just the most splendid idea to get a puppy. I've already begun thinking of names. How does Wuffy sound? All my love, P. Well, that's interesting. Actually, I wonder if we can confront him about this. I'm just going to quickly save, just in case it rubs him the wrong way. We'll save it as Wuffy.
Could I have another moment of your time, Mr. Puffin?
Yes, I suppose so.
Do you know anyone named Ned?
Ned? Well, yes, I do. My nephew, Ned Bunkridge.
Uh-huh.
Nephew?
Yes? Why do you ask?
No reason.
Where might I find Ned? I'd like to speak with him.
Is everything all right? Ned hasn't gotten into any trouble, has he?
Oh, we don't know about that yet.
Always tell him just because he's training his body,
Oh.
that's no excuse to pick fights.
Training his body, is he?
No, he hasn't gotten into any trouble.
Oh, well, he lives in Lyon. 511 Parkside Terrace.
I thank you.
Right. Thank you for the information. I'll let you resume your practicing, Mr. Puffin.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Hey, you too. Hey, he's very forthcoming, wasn't he? Very helpful. Don't know if he's necessarily all there, though. So.
Right this way, sir. Mr. Bunkridge is in his gymnasium.
Is he fighting a robot?
Well, you take a look at this place, and take a look at him. Maybe you should consider doing some training yourself, Miles. You aren't getting any younger, after all.
Quite you.
Excuse me, Mr. Bunkridge.
He just turns around and punches him. Oh, wow, he is built.
Who are you?
Oh, my God.
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. Your valet let me in.
He's very built.
Of course. What can I do for you?
Absolutely
I
ripped.
have a few questions for you, if you'd be so kind.
Yes, all right. I could use a bit of a rest anyway.
Oh, my God. He is ripped.
Are you familiar with a man named Ronan?
He has red hair.
Never heard of him.
I have his portrait. Maybe you recognize him?
No. I've never seen this man before, but... Huh. How about that?
How about what?
The detail in this ferrotype is a bit fuzzy, but his facial features and hair, they vaguely resemble mine.
You know, now that he mentions it, it's true. Lespade does bear a passing resemblance to this fellow.
That's
Not
curious.
quite as handsome, though.
So, you know nothing about the murder outside the Silent Raven 4 nights ago?
It's getting
That's right.
stranger.
I don't even know what the Silent Raven is.
It's a bar in the Chum.
Well, that explains it. For one thing, I don't go to that part of town. A man like me sets foot in that den of ruffians, and I'll have every Tom, Dick, and Harry challenging me to a fight. Not that I couldn't take them, but I have better ways to train my body than beating thugs. Anyway,
Maybe
I
someone
don't
mistook
drink.
Ron of him and
Dulls
killed him in
the
his
mind
stupor.
and softens the
That
body.
might be a good shout,
See.
actually.
Well, just thought I'd ask.
I'm sorry I can't help you, Mr. Fordham, but I hope you solve whatever it is you're investigating. You seem like a nice enough sort.
Tell me about your uncle.
You know Tom?
I've met him, yes. He's the one who told me where you lived.
Calling an old barbarian.
Right. Well, my uncle is an interesting man.
Is that an interesting?
What about the clothes?
Good or
That's
bad
also
variety?
a valid
I really
point.
wish he would take
There's a lot of
better
details
care of
here.
himself is all. I have the feeling that he's on some sort of drug, although he always denies it.
What gives you that impression?
Well, most of the time he acts completely normal. He goes to work, visits with me. Sometimes we go out together to the theater or a gallery. But some days his mood changes. He goes very solitary, won't leave his house, gets short with me. One time I went to visit him, I heard him yelling along with what sounded like furniture being knocked about. It only happened once, but it worried me. I hope Tom isn't in any sort of trouble.
Opium is one hell of a drug. It's a good thing you never got to that point with the soporific, or Adelaide would have thrown you out much sooner.
Are you all right, Mr. Fordham?
Yes, I'm fine.
What? Too soon?
Yeah, a bit too soon.
Could you give me Tom's address?
You don't have it? I thought you said you'd spoken with him.
I visited him at the cathedral.
But if he's there, why do you want his address?
Do I redirect out this? I think I can redirect out this.
I have reason to believe he may be somehow involved in a murder.
That's a serious accusation, Mr. Fordham. What proof do you have?
Nothing concrete just yet, which is why I'd like to investigate his home.
Well, you're not the police, so I'm not obligated to tell you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but you'll need more than just a suspicion to convince me.
Fair enough.
On second thought, never mind. Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Yes, it most certainly does. My lady love is named Priscilla Poundstone.
There is a Priscilla.
See, what can you tell me about her?
Oh, she's a darling. I love her very much. Such a kind and gentle soul she is, too. Loves animals, especially dogs. We've been together for ages and are due to be married soon.
When was the last time you saw her?
Saw her? Oh, no, Mr. Fordham. She doesn't live in New Britannia. She attends Miss Threadneedle's Academy for Young Ladies in Cormorant.
She lives in New Holland?
That's right. I've never actually met Priscilla face to face. We communicate exclusively through correspondence.
How did you two get involved?
Her father and mine were old military friends. They decided between them that their children would be engaged.
And you're both in agreement?
Yes. I admit at first I was a bit hesitant, but we share many of the same interests. The distance between us is not a detriment to our love.
I wonder how that will change once they actually begin cohabiting.
Right.
So you correspond regularly with Priscilla?
That's right. At least one letter a week. My uncle does me the kindness of acting as courier.
Do you think I might have a look at one of those letters?
What for? They're private correspondence.
That's fair.
I understand, but I feel this is important. Perhaps you could show me one that isn't too personal.
Yes, I suppose that would be all right. In fact, I think there's a recent one on the shelf.
Why would the letter be locked up
that's
in the
not too
church instead of
private.
his own place?
But you won't need to take
Yeah.
it, will you?
Not at all. I just want to have a look.
Okay.
You're very into physical conditioning, aren't you?
Oh, you noticed.
Yeah?
Yes, I believe that a healthy body is just as important as a healthy mind, if not more so.
I definitely
Well,
got
he's
the health.
definitely prioritizing
Yep.
performance.
I was going to say pretty much the same thing.
It's important to keep fit, especially at a job like mine where I'm in a chair most of the day.
What job is that?
I'm a clerk at the Bank of Vespuccia, but someday
Really?
I hope to leave and teach others about the health benefits of regular exercise. Perhaps even open up my own gymnasium.
Ha! He actually thinks people are gonna go for that? Good luck to him.
How do you feel about the election outcome?
I'm disappointed. Atwood may not have been the greatest PM, but he was pro-steam tech. Sure, the Ligeia incident was a tragedy, but people are too quick to judge. Steam technology is a boon to mankind. It's already enriched my life considerably. It's a shame that progress is going to be held back because of one isolated occurrence.
I agree. Technological advancement doesn't come cheap, but it shouldn't be abandoned entirely.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Not a problem.
I'm gonna need some evidence of Tom's wrongdoing. We'll get one of these letters though. Hold on. There we go. Oh god, that font. My dearest Ned, I was so happy to receive your last letter. Things are going well here. I'm due to begin my next course within the week. How are things with you? Did you manage to set up that gymnasium you were talking about? You'll have to send me a ferrotype with your new physique.
Wait just a minute. Something's off here. The handwriting in this letter is different.
I
to the
was
one we
about to
found
say that
before.
actually.
There's
Yeah.
something strange going on with this Priscilla.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if old Nettie boy is at the end of his rope, too. Just when I thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next? What in the ether is that supposed to be? Looks like some kind of medieval torture device. Then again, so does most of this newfangled exercise equipment.
I'm starting to think that this Priscilla doesn't actually exist. And this guy's been taken for a fool. Maybe Jimbo is Priscilla? Maybe. Ned Bunkeridge is our only lead at the moment, and we just need to find out. Let's see if Jimbo's got anything else to say then.
He won't.
No. Let's see if if there's anything we can follow up with this lady here, Emily.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
Might illuminate some extra
Are you
things.
familiar with someone who goes by the name Jimbo?
No, I don't think so. Who is that?
A friend of Ronan's.
No, as I told you, I didn't know
A
Ronan
bit
to
more
have
than a
any
friend.
friends. I especially don't recall him mentioning anyone called Jimbo.
There is a reason for that.
Did Ronan know anyone named Priscilla?
Priscilla? No, I never heard that name before.
Well,
Who
you're
is she?
terribly useful,
It's
aren't
the
you?
name that's come up in my investigation.
I wonder if Ronan had finally met a young woman.
Oh,
No.
boy. Ah, you've done it.
Those are all the questions I have for now.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
Oh, actually, I wanted to go to the morgue. I think I had questions for yeah, the Mort guy. Mortuary guy. That's him. Dr. Edwards. Hello.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
Edwards, do you know much about the effects of opium?
Quite a great deal, unfortunately. It's all the rage these days. Most people use it to calm the nerves or relieve pain, but it's highly addictive and has numerous adverse effects.
Well, that sucks.
Such as?
It depends, really. Most common are sweating, nausea, memory loss, or blurred vision. But more serious cases can lead to hallucination, violent mood swings, coma, or even death. I just had a case in here a few weeks ago who died from an opium overdose. It wasn't pretty.
Doesn't sound like it. Thanks for the information, Edwards.
Okay.
Anytime.
That opens up a little bit, yeah.
I'll be going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham.
Okay. I wonder if the hallucinations have something to do with this. I'm just thinking. I'm quiet because I'm thinking. My brain is whirring right now. Tom mentioned blurred vision. Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him a bit more.
You won't be much more.
Nope, he has nothing else to say. Okay. He's definitely hiding something, though. Don't think there's anything we can talk to with this guy. I wonder if there's anything we can talk to at Silent Raven. Oh. Comics here.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Nope.
Oh, that's very helpful.
I was given the physical description of a man, and I was wondering if you might recognize him if I told you.
It's definitely
Perhaps.
like a
Go
really...
He's tall, of strong build.
A bit more of an
with
obtuse
beard or mutton
case.
chops, dressing all in black.
There's a bit
and
more
possibly
to it than the
wearing
other
a
ones, I
cap.
think.
Bit vague, wouldn't you say? That covers about half our clientele.
I was afraid that might be the case. Did you notice anyone of that description here on election night?
No. Can't say I did, sorry.
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
Right. Comic?
Moment of your time, if I may.
Right, but make it quick.
Hello, old friend.
I wonder if you could tell me if you saw a man of this description at the Silent Raven on election night.
Oop.
He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Oh, aye. Cormac remembers seeing a fella like that.
What was he doing?
Kept going in and out of the bar. When he was inside, he stood near the voting booths, hardly moving a muscle.
And when he was outside?
That, Cormac couldn't say.
Aha.
Did you notice anything else about him?
Yes, Cormac noticed him come in and speak with Nicole, the barmaid, after the commotion outside.
Is that right? That's very interesting.
Thank you, Cormac. That's very useful information that you've just given me there.
Do you know anyone named Priscilla?
Ah, that's not a name Cormac knows.
Cormac's the hero of this
I'm
one.
surprised it's not the name of one of his tools.
Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to your drink.
Miles, have you ever noticed that this Jimbo fellow fits the description of the man loitering outside the taxidermy shop? The
does,
barmaid told
but
us she saw someone matching that description
think
at
it's
the
him.
Raven on election night. Not only that, Priscilla just so happens to be the name of the ship Jimbo works on. And the pistol used to murder Ronan has the initials JB etched on it.
I don't think
Could
it's
be a
him, though.
coincidence, but I think it's quite reasonable to consider him as a suspect.
A suspect, sure, but I don't think he's the right call.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
You know that description I gave you earlier? Of the tall man in black?
Yeah, what about it?
I spoke with Cormac, and he told me he saw you speaking with someone fitting that description shortly after the murder occurred.
And you believed him? Cormac's a good sort, but he's not exactly reliable.
I found him more reliable
I'd say
than
he's twice as
anyone.
reliable as
Yeah,
you are.
exactly.
Now tell me the truth, or I'll have you in as an accomplice to murder.
Oh, damn.
All right, relax. I don't know the man by name, but he came to me after the commotion outside and paid me a few crowns to keep my mouth shut about it.
Well, that's
I didn't
interesting.
ask any more questions, and I wasn't about to refuse some extra cash. That was that, I swear.
That's not good enough. I need some way to find this man. Is there anything else you can tell me?
Well, I did notice he had
Oh.
a scar on his left cheek. Kind of looked like a shepherd's crook. But that's all, really.
Darius.
Suppose that'll have to do. I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a save here. I'm gonna see if I confront Darius about this. Oop. Okay.
Leave him be.
Okay, I can't seem to confront him about it. Right. That certainly puts him on the list of suspects, though. Not yet, but... Where else can we take this investigation right now? I think this guy might remember more than he lets on. We can't talk to him right now. Who can we talk to right now? This guy got anything else to say?
I don't...
Nope. Trying to see if we can get any more information so we can get this guy marked down as a suspect. Oh, we can talk to Emily again.
You got time for a few more questions, Mr.
Actually, it might just be a turn in the
Yes,
case.
of course.
Yeah.
Those are
All right.
Never mind then. Let's teleport to the door. They look like good cakes, yeah. Perhaps we can confront Jimbo about this directly.
won't have it.
Nope. Where else can we go? I mean, we need to. Thing is, there's something about this Priscilla that is a bit more suspicious than we've actually found out so far.
Could I ask you?
All right.
Okay. Can I?
About your uncle's address?
What about it? Why do you want it?
Ah, this might be something else.
I think there's something going on between him and Priscilla.
Something going on? What do you mean?
I found a letter addressed to you from her at the cathedral, and the handwriting is different to the letter you have here.
He has one of her letters? Why would he?
I'm not sure. Which is why I'd like to search his home and find out more.
This is information we're going to need.
He's going behind my back. I swear, I'll...
Calm yourself, Mr. Bunkridge. If I find anything, you'll be the first to know.
All right. Tom lives at 117 Gimlet Terrace in Worcester.
Hey, practically neighbors.
Here,
nice.
I've got a spare key. If you find anything about him and Priscilla, you'll tell me, won't you?
Sure thing.
Of course.
Both
Thank you,
drink
Mr.
lots.
Bunkridge. Thanks for your time.
Not a problem.
Seriously, that guy is super ripped.
Nice place. Tidy. Nothing incriminating that I can see.
Roll fizzle beef.
People rarely leave anything incriminating out in the open. It's time to have a look around.
Fridge, large meat.
Music books. Clearly Puffin has never touched them.
Why? Are there scratches on the floor?
That's odd. There are some scratches on the floor next to that statue.
Maybe we can move the statue then. I've played enough adventure games to look at scratches on the floor.
Tom's buried treasure.
Ooh. What? Why are we walking over here? Oh.
Let's just see what we have here.
Dearest Priscilla, I've completed all my plans and will soon come visit you in Cormorant. Please remember that life in New Britannia is hard, and I may look a bit more advanced in years than you might expect.
Interesting stuff. But what about the box itself?
Jenkins
Puffin's
and
has gone
Bowen.
missing. He should really take better care of his things. Jenkins and Bowen. The name shares the initials that were on the murder weapon. That's quite a coincidence, wouldn't you say?
I would if I believed in coincidences.
I think this is enough
Things
information.
are starting to fall into place here, Miles. Between the letters, the missing gun, and what Edwards told us about the effects of opium, I think we have enough evidence to consider
my
Puffin
God.
a suspect.
The link between them? Right. Get this. They look kind of similar, right? They look kind of similar. So, this Tom fellow wanted to go and kill his nephew. He mistook Ronan for his nephew because of the opium blindness and shot him. I think we cracked this one. You did well there, Mystic. We all pieced that together. All right, let's head over to Emily and we'll say we cracked the case for you.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
I've completed my investigation of your brother's murder, Mrs. Morgan.
You have? Oh, that's such a relief to hear. Who killed him?
It was Tom Puffin.
It was Tom Puffin, choir master at St. Denis Cathedral.
What? But why would a member of the church do something like that?
Puffin is in love with his nephew Ned's fiancée, Priscilla. He's even gone so far as to intercept their letters and write to each of them under false pretenses. Mr. Puffin is also an avid opium user and is prone to fits of rage as well as hallucinations. The evening of the murder, Puffin was at the Silent Raven, and in his opium-induced fog mistook your brother for Ned. He had his pistol on him, and his rage and jealousy got the better of him. Poor Ronan was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And what about the clothes he was wearing? Or why he was in Chumley in the first place?
I'm afraid those are questions I cannot answer, Mrs. Morgan.
That's a mystery,
However,
then.
I have sufficient evidence to place Mr. Puffin at the scene of the crime.
Well, I suppose that's good enough then. So what happens now?
Now, I'll inform Miss Upton of my
Maybe it was a red
findings,
herring.
and
Who
She'll send
knows?
an officer along to arrest Puffin. From there, justice will be served accordingly.
I see. Thank you for
I
your
think
help, Mr.
he
Fordham.
definitely was the murderer, though. I just got an achievement called Mistaken Identity.
Tom Puffin?
Oh no. Oh, it's because he mistook someone else.
Yes, may I help you, officer?
You're under arrest for the murder of Ronan Lespay.
What? Oh.
Was he trying to disguise himself in
God.
case he ran into Jimbo on the
So
streets?
it wasn't a dream.
Maybe.
Come along, sir. We need to question you at the station.
You know, Miles, you've been coming in here a lot lately, but you've never looked quite this glum.
Well, you know,
What's
it is what
going
it
on?
is.
I've bungled things pretty badly at home. Been staying with a friend the past couple of weeks.
I see. What happened?
I haven't been
Tucker.
honest
How you
with my
doing?
wife. Coming here and drowning my sorrows hasn't really helped, oddly enough. And yet, it's all I can do to keep from going crazy.
You know, Miles, I've seen and heard a lot of things over the years. Some of the stories would turn your hair white. But through
Really?
it all, I've come to learn one thing. It's usually not too late to make things better.
Thank you for the follow.
but only if
Sea
you
Pirates
let
2.
yourself try.
Thank you for the advice, Patrick.
All I can do is give it, Miles. Whether you choose to take it or not is entirely
Glad to
up
hear
you
you picking up the game, Mystic.
Now, would you like another gin?
No, thank you. This time I really do need to be on my way.
There's actually another game coming out set in this universe called Rosewater. Basically, it's set in like the sort of the steampunk Wild West, and you play as Bill's sister. So I'm really looking forward to that one. That's the thing that's set for release next year. So yeah, that's going to be really cool. I'm following the development of that closely. And I think we should we visit Adelaide? I think we should, because I think we did good. I think we can
I should
finally
go and see how my wife is doing.
Yeah.
I see. Well, have a good night, Miles. And good luck to you.
Who in the ether?
Talk to your damn wife, Miles.
Miles? This is a surprise.
I've decided to forgive you. That is definitely the wrong response. Oh my god. I don't want to be self-deprecating. I want to just kind of be direct.
Hello, Addie. It's wonderful to see you. May I please come in?
I think the second one's better.
Suppose so.
Saying you've been an idiot, I don't think that's the right call. It seems like self-pitying.
Was there something you wanted to talk about?
I wanted to finally tell you the truth.
I've given it a lot of thought, and I think it's time
He has been an idiot, but, you know.
Miles, what are you doing? You know this is a terrible idea.
The truth?
About why I've been acting the way I have been since Bill died.
Well, go on. I'm listening.
Don't do it, Miles. You know it's a one-way ticket to Riverview if you do.
Don't worry. We're gonna do it. We're going to tell the truth.
I've been hearing Bill's voice ever since he died.
Fordham, what is wrong with you?
His voice?
I can't believe this! You've just destroyed your life! I hope you realize that!
Why are you so angry about it?
In my
it
head,
makes me
at all
worried about what is
That's why I
going
was
on
taking
there.
soporific. It was the only way to keep him quiet. Or so I thought. Turns out that alcohol has the same effect.
What does he say to you?
The type of things he'd say when he was alive. Snarky comments, inappropriate jokes. Mainly he nags me to find the flower shop burglar. He thinks doing that will let him find peace and move on.
I see.
I told you you'd think I was crazy.
Don't be ridiculous, Miles. It's nothing like that. It's just, I wish you had told me sooner is all.
I know, but I was afraid.
Well, I'm glad you finally trusted me. You know, you could have all along.
So, you're all right with it?
It is quite a lot to take in. I think I'll need some time to mull it over. But what matters now is that we can work through this together.
I think we did. I think we made the right call.
Well, I should probably go. It was lovely to see you again, Addie.
Lovely to see you too, Miles.
Perhaps I'll stop by again next week?
Or sooner, if you'd like.
Sure. Like the men in white coats aren't gonna have you taken away by then.
Chill out, Bill.
I'll
She's
See
not gonna
myself
get us
out
taken
then.
away.
Good night, Miles.
I got an achievement called Model Husband. Nice. Take a chill pill, Bill.
Fordham, wake up.
Huh? He just leapt over the side. I don't... Oh, Upton. What's going on?
I don't think it was a dream.
Goodness, Fordham. You look terrible. Is everything all right?
Just had some trouble sleeping. More than usual.
Well, I hope you've rested enough, because I've got something very important.
Why is he here then? Because he left.
Oh, wonderful. If we're sharing
See?
information now, are you going to tell Upton about me as well?
There you go. Because he left. He's not staying back at home yet.
What is it?
There's been a murder.
Oh boy.
I assume this one is special somehow, or you wouldn't be bringing it to me.
Oh no.
I thought that great detectives never assumed.
Well,
there are exceptions to every rule.
Anyway, you're right. The victim in question is a member of Parliament.
Oh, never mind
a man
then.
named Percival McDonough, to be precise. But this is the real corker. The murder is clearly the work of the Justice Killer.
Ooh.
The Justice Killer? Is that the mass murderer I've been hearing about?
The very same.
Why Justice Killer, though?
It's part of his modus operandi. He kills his victims with a single gunshot to the head, then writes the word justice somewhere in the room with the victim's blood.
Talk about
That-
melodramatic.
Yeah.
The police are stumped. This is the killer's 5th victim, and there isn't a single lead.
So you want me to investigate?
Not just yet. First, I need you to look at these sketches.
You took crime scene sketches from the department?
Of course not. I made copies with the station's Pharaoh duplicator.
Oh, of course.
These killings need to stop, and I believe you can succeed where the
Very
department has
Gabriel
so
Knight,
far failed.
So, what am I looking for?
The police went over each crime scene with a fine-toothed comb and turned up practically no useful physical evidence. I want a second opinion from you. If you can find some sort of link between them, it might be possible to track this monster down.
It's a shot in the dark. I can't guarantee I'll find anything that the police didn't see, but it's worth a look.
Okay. Ooh, that's interesting.
Here are the 4 sketches. Have a look at them and see if you notice anything that might help us find this maniac.
Let's have a look. Okay, wait, hold on.
I'm sure this is terribly relevant, but I've got nothing to say about it.
Their bodies are laid out in the shape of a cross.
I don't feel like looking at dead bodies right now. Is there something more exciting we could be doing? Oh, were you hoping for some witty insight? Shame, because you're not getting any.
Okay, so this is the left one.
Whoever drew this was a hack.
There's a flower.
It looks more like a piece of
in
toast
both
than a
of them.
flower.
Okay.
What's the point? It's not like you're actually going to be able to investigate this case.
Get out of my head, Bill.
If only you hadn't told Adelaide about me, I might share my thoughts with you. As it is, you're on your own.
Why does Bill seem upset? Because we told Adelaide about him being in his head, so he's not happy about it now. So in each one I've noticed so far, there's a flower, there's the thing, and then there's this. Okay. Flower.
I'm really not in the mood to be analyzing crime scene sketches right now. Boring.
Oh my god, Bill.
Yeah, he's dead. Big deal. Maybe you should write crazy over your bed. Wait, what's that? I see an important clue. Just kidding. Boring. Just.
Interesting.
Oh, what? You actually found something without my help? I'm shocked.
Shut up, Bill.
Boring.
Okay. Why do we get the feeling that we need to get ourselves some alcohol?
Upton?
What is it, Fordham?
Do you have any alcohol?
About those crime scene sketches.
Yes?
I can get Bill to shut up.
I think I found a connection.
I knew you would. What is it?
It's the flowers.
There's a single flower at each crime scene. They look deliberately placed.
There is? Let me have a look. You're right. One lily at each scene.
Flowers.
Wait, what did you say?
These flowers.
Lilies.
They're lilies.
Oh, God.
Easter lilies, I think.
It was the guy.
I don't believe it. Upton, this is incredible. This is the lead I've been searching for.
What? You mean for another case?
The flower shop burglar. He was stealing Easter lilies. And I distinctly remember him saying something about his desire to uphold justice. At the time, I thought it was just the rambling of a lunatic.
Hey, cool shot. How you doing?
Now it seems so obvious.
So the flower shop burglar is the justice killer?
It seems too much of a coincidence otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, then that's wonderful. You can kill two birds with one stone. Excellent work, Fordham. I knew you could do it.
There's another bit as well.
What exactly are the details regarding this justice killer?
The killings began a few months ago.
I guess I can't talk about the
so
crime scene
far,
photos
he's
anymore.
claimed 5 victims. The department wanted to keep this information out of the public eye to prevent a panic, but word has gotten out. On the bright side, it makes your involvement in the case much less suspicious.
What can you tell me about the previous victims?
4 men from Chumley: Hannibal Kirkland, Reggie Willingham, Ennis Bowditch, and Burley Cause.
Can't say I
No
know the
connection
names.
between any of them aside from the
Doesn't
borough
come
they
up in any
lived
of the
in.
case.
I have copies of the police reports from each of the crime scenes. Go ahead and take them.
Thank you, Upton.
Great. We're getting lots of dings here.
What are the details regarding the killer's latest victim?
As I mentioned, the victim is Percival McDonough, a member of Parliament. He was found this morning by his secretary in his office. I expect the official investigation is still underway.
So the killer managed to get into the Houses of Parliament. No easy feat.
You can say that again. It's the killer's first high-profile victim. It means he's getting bolder.
I suppose I'll have to drop by and see for myself.
Okay. How about yourself, then?
Everything all right with you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting by. I expect things go back to normal once this killer is caught.
I haven't worn out my welcome here yet, have I?
No, you're still tolerable. But when was the last time you washed your hair?
Hey.
You're starting to sound like Adelaide. I should get back to it.
Not a bad idea.
All right.
Right. I think I have enough information to get started. I think I'll begin with...
Oh, there's somebody at the
I
door.
wasn't expecting company. Chief Snelling?
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Upton, we need to talk.
Oh, no.
Fordham, I should have guessed I'd find you here.
What a pleasant surprise.
Ah, Chief Snelling. What a pleasant surprise.
I'm equally pleased to see you, Fordham.
I'm sure.
Although, having you here does save me a bit of trouble.
Uh-oh.
Trouble?
Those are some rather interesting decorations.
Yeah,
How they got here?
And once again, the jig is up. I hope you can talk your way out of this one, too.
Well, I'll take the blame.
I brought them here, after I made duplicates and took them from the police department.
Nice try, Fordham, but I know for a fact that isn't true. The Ferroduplicator makes a report of every employee
damn.
as well as what was copied.
Upton.
A rather useful feature for instances such
You messed
as
that
these.
one up.
Wouldn't you agree?
These gadgets are going to be the undoing of us all.
In any case, I did some digging and discovered some intriguing information.
Did you?
Upton, why have you been passing on classified police information to Mr. Fordham?
Because he's the best detective you ever had on the force, and you know it.
Is that right?
I maybe got like
Percival,
50% of
I
the
don't
cases
consider
right,
getting your
so...
partner killed the mark of a great detective. But what's done is done. Constance Upton, your employment with the New Britannia Police Department is hereby terminated.
Oh no.
But...
I should add that it's only because of your 25 years of dedicated service that I'm not pressing charges against you.
This guy
But as
sucks.
for you, Fordham, I have enough evidence to place you under arrest for obstruction of justice and interfering with police
I've been
investigations.
aiding police
Do
investigations.
you have anything to say in your defense?
Punch Snelling.
Before I take you in for questioning?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I know who the justice killer is.
Am I gonna bluff here?
Fordham, if this is your idea of a diversion...
It's true. I found a link in the sketches
Okay,
of the
yeah.
crime scenes.
All right, let's hear it then. What do you think you found?
I'll tell you if you promise to let me take the case.
Out of the question, Fordham. This is a police matter.
and the police haven't made progress in months. Fordham figured it out in a matter of minutes. Admit it, Snelling. Fordham is your best shot at finding the killer.
More like smelling. Oh, nice. Grill shot. Got him.
People of the city in danger.
Fine. I'll let you continue to operate as an assistant in this case, if you have actually found something of value. Now, what is this link?
He leaves a single Easter lily at each crime scene. The same type of flowers the burglar in the chum was stealing.
I see. A tenuous link, but plausible. I'll give you until tomorrow afternoon. If you haven't come up with anything, I'm throwing you in jail.
I see.
Sounds fair to me.
And don't get any clever ideas about leaving town, either.
Come now, would I do something like that?
Fordham, it seems there's no telling what you might do. I'm probably a fool for not clapping you in irons right here and now. When you have something to report, come find me in my office.
If I do
Don't
use
make
it,
me
I'll let you
regret
know,
this.
Cool Shot.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Except you're still fired. I didn't have a chance to get him to change his mind.
We'll worry about that after you catch the killer. In the meantime, I could use a drink. I'll see you later, Fordham.
All right. Have fun.
Well, better get to
Roll
work.
some credit for the
then.
mistaken
Clock
identity
is
theory. Fair enough. All right. I'm gonna save my game here. Justice. And I'm going to flip over to this. Hi everybody. How's it going? I'm deciding I'm gonna wrap that up here today because, you know, pretty much a good place to end it, I would say. I will be streaming tomorrow as well. Where are my glasses? I'm just not wearing them right now. I don't always wear them. When I'm at my computer, I don't need to wear them because I'm actually farsighted rather than nearsighted. So if it's only really when I need to see things far away, like when I'm walking about and stuff. And I put them on when I'm doing videos. But yeah. Is there anyone streaming right now? Doesn't seem like. How's it looking good? Thank you, Ebek. Golf tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow I'm streaming golf with your friends with the Discord. So that will be open join, but we've only got like 8 slots. So we're kind of just we're gonna see how it's gonna work. We'll figure something out. It might just be like people coming in and out. But either way, if you can get a space as we're playing golf with your friends, then you're welcome to join us as we stream some golf. So yeah, that should be fun. That's going to be happening tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. BST, which is an hour earlier than I usually start. As for streams, Casey Explosion is doing Darkest Dungeon fundraising for charity. Okay, that sounds good enough. I don't really know anything about Darkest Dungeon, but Casey's really lovely, and if she's doing a charity stream, then sure, I'll throw you guys over there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for... Can't believe I haven't played Darkest Dungeon. It's what I want to get around to at some point. Maybe I'll stream it, who knows. Alright, let's get going. No raid phrase, I don't know if I can think of a raid phrase. I'll see you guys later. Just offer your support, I guess. Alright, let's get this raid going. Alright, they have a follow or subscriber on your chat. Alright, fair enough. Let's just hit this. Alright, let's go. See you guys later. Thanks for coming along.